All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live for our second live commentary stream of the day, and this time we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series turn at the Homestead-Miami Speedway for the running of the Contender Boats 300 in today's race. For pre-race ceremonies, we'll send it for everybody out watching this race today. You can watch on the USA Network, and that will be the coverage from the broadcasters, of course, that you'll hear throughout the course of this one. We'll go through more of the pre-race analysis once we get through the pre-race ceremonies.
Father, we bow our heads and hearts to you because you're powerful, but we raise our prayer to you because you're listening. Would you protect these competitors and fans? We cheer so loud that we lose our voices, and it's just a glimpse of what we're made for. One day we will all with one unified voice cheer for you. In Jesus' name, amen. Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome the Palmetto Ridge High School Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming from the rocket's red cloud. The bombs bursting in gave proof through all the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the flag of the brave and the hope of the brave.
We are getting down to crunch time in this NASCAR Xfinity Series season. The third to last race of the year is the second race of the round of 8 of the playoffs. Here's today's starting lineup for the Contender Boats 300 at Homestead, as Cole Custer is going to be on the pole. His teammate Riley Herbst won the victory lane on a mile and a half a week ago in Vegas. We'll see if Custer can get one here today to lock himself into the championship. Forward to the outside of the front row is John Hunter Nemechek, the most winningest driver in the Xfinity Series season this year. Justin Allgaier and Austin Hill will line up in row number 2, both, of course, on the verge of a championship. Allgaier trying to make the championship for the second consecutive year, and Austin Hill in his second full-time season at RCR trying to make it into the championship for his first time in the Xfinity Series. Sammy Smith and Brett Moffitt will line up in row number 3. Great qualifying effort for Moffitt, highest of non-playoff drivers today. Riley Herbst and Josh Berry will be in row 4. Again, Herbst won last week at a mile and a half racetrack. We'll see if he can get it done again here today. Sheldon Creed and Parker Kligerman will line up in row 5. Creed in the playoffs still and trying to put that push forward towards a championship. Joe Graff Jr., Chandler Smith will line up in row number 6. Graff Jr. in the 19 car. Of course, remember, the 19 is not qualified for the Owners' Playoffs anymore. They were eliminated from the round of 12. Sam Mayer and Ryan Sieg will be in row number 7 for this one. Daniel Hemrick, Parker Retzlaff in row 8. Brandon Jones, Kyle Weatherman in row 9. Kaz Gralla, Derek Kraus will be in the 11 for Colleague Racing today in row 10. Connor Mosack and Jeremy Clements in row number 11. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Newman will be in row number 12 for this one. Kyle Sieg, Josh Williams, and they will be in line in row 13. Leland Honeyman, Jeb Burton will be in row 14. Brennan Poole, Mason Maggio in row 15. Anthony Alfredo, Dawson Cram in row 16. Jeffrey Earnhardt on the inside in row 17 with Blaine Perkins to his outside. Mason Massey and Patrick Emmerly in row 18. In the row 19 today, rounding out the field, will be Ryan Ellis and CJ McLaughlin. We will have 45 laps in Stage 1 and Stage 2, making up for 110 laps in the final stage of today's race. In the Truck Series race today, we saw a tire fall off over a 30-lap green flag run of 3 seconds. We'll see similar tire fall off in today's Xfinity Series race, which will mean that these crews are going to be put to the test. The team's going to be put to the test on pit road. Pit stop is going to be very important with the movement of track position we're going to be seeing during the course of the long runs, but obviously to position yourself still for the restarts and on the short runs, and of course during green flag conditions of when to pit could come into play as well, as we saw that in the Truck Series race earlier. A 60-lap green flag run to end the Truck Series race this afternoon, and pit strategy came into the finish of that race, allowing for Carson Hocevar to get the win and for Ben Rhodes to get a third-place finish out of a finish that probably didn't look like he was going to end up in the top 15, and allowed him to get a 1 point to the good advantage to lock himself into the championship four. Of course, this isn't the final race of the round, but still like to position yourself in the best possible points scenario going into Martinsville for the cutoff race next week.
It's my way to get to the Final Four.
8 drivers left, 4 spots open. Who wants to be the Xfinity Series champion in 2023? A win by a playoff driver today locks in their spot to Championship Saturday in 2 weeks. Before we get the engine started, let's head to pit road and check in with Kim Kuhn.
Well, Marty, playoff driver Sam Mayer enters this weekend 16 points below the elimination line after just an okay showing last weekend at Vegas. So how did he prepare for this weekend, knowing how important today will be? He reviewed over 10 and a half hours of race film this week. He told me he watched every Miami Xfinity race from 2017 through 2020. He wanted to look at every little variable here and what can make a difference from the driver's seat. Last year in his only Miami Xfinity start, he finished 5th. We'll see if all that studying paid off, Dave.
Came for the 21 of Austin Hill. He is plus 19 to the cut line, so a good spot to be in. What else is on his side? A good weekend so far. Crew Chief Andy Street told me this is one of the best weekends we've started so far this year. They qualified 4th. They had speed in practice. And don't forget, Austin Hill is a former winner here, 2019, in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Marty?
Well, Dave, there may be no track on the NASCAR calendar that is more high risk, high reward than Homestead-Miami Speedway. So, Kyle, when drivers say that, what do they mean?
They mean you get up on the boards, man, ripping the fence, and there's speed up there. The reward is speed. The danger is if you get up there and you make a mistake, you'll be watching Phoenix out on the racetrack with the other guys. Just not a shot at the championship. The guy that rips the boards the best today gets his ticket punched to Phoenix.
So give me a few drivers who balance that art of running the wall without hitting it very well.
I said it before, Cole Custer, Sheldon Creed, Dale Jr., but I do believe this too, and Jeff Burton said it earlier. These young drivers with no experience, they need to get up there and learn how to rip those boards so that when they come back here later, but there may be a guy that pops out of that group.
Yeah, and Sammy Smith, Steve mentioned earlier, he is in a must-win situation. But you can't force things here at Miami. Time for race number 2 of the round of 8. Let's get the engines cranked in Miami.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome the Executive Director of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, Roger Young.
Drivers, start your engines! It's hard to get drivers to agree on almost anything, but one thing almost all say is this is one of their favorite racetracks. Why is that? Well, it starts with this asphalt. Look how rough it is. This stuff just rips the rubber right off the tires. That makes the car drive really bad later on, and every driver thinks they're the best, make it drive bad. That's an advantage for me. The other thing is, this is 18 degrees here. Right here in this groove in between the seams is 19. This is 20 degrees. The more you climb up this baking, the more baking gains. That makes more grip, that makes your car drive better, and then it's this guy right here. Everybody wants to be right against it, not here. You want to be right against it, even maybe leaving some marks, scuff it up a little bit. That's where the speed is, but that's where the danger is. Go agree when we come back.
So we'll take a look at the point standings then when we're waiting for this race to get going. And this is the playoff field coming into this week. With Herbst not being a playoff contender and winning last week means that all 8 drivers are still vouching for those 4 spots to make it to the championship 4. John Hunter Nemechek sitting fairly comfortably above the cutoff line, at least coming into today's race, as he has 47 points to the good. Justin Allgaier is plus 21 points, Austin Hill plus 19, and Cole Custer is plus 15. He is the final driver above that cut line. Chandler Smith is at minus 15 points, Sam Mayer minus 16, and then Sammy Smith and Sheldon Creed with deep holes to overcome here for these final 2 races of the round. A win guarantees them a spot, but it's not impossible to point their way in and 2 races at minus 35 points for Sammy Smith and minus 41 points for Sheldon Creed. Appreciate everybody tuning into the stream here today. I'll get that poll going so that way when the race starts, we can close it at the end of stage 2. And I'll ask you guys who you think will win today's race. Homestead-Miami. Put Cole Custer on there. Beansy is on the pole. Put John Hunter Nemechek. He starts second and is probably going to be one of the big contenders. We'll put Justin Allgaier on there too. Spelled his name. There we go. So I've got the poll up in the chat. You can vote between Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Allgaier, or other for who you think will win today's Xfinity Series race. Again, we'll close that poll at the end of stage 2, as we usually do. Mark Witkowski, Mark DeMars, Robert Perkle, Kenneth Clark, Bond 1771, Thomas Morris, and somebody else I saw waiting prior to the start of the stream. Can't scroll that high up the screen, though, unfortunately. But there was a couple other people that were waiting for the stream to start that were in the chat early. Appreciate everybody tuning in here for this race today. And that was already watching our live commentary coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race that took place at Homestead. Congratulations to the 4 drivers who have qualified for the championship through that race earlier today. And also congrats to Carson Hocevar for getting his 4th Truck Series win of the season. Hocevar, Corey Heim, as well as Grant Enfinger and Ben Rhodes will be competing for the championship for Phoenix in 2 weeks. They'll be off next week with only the Xfinity and Cup Series races being taken place at Martinsville for their final races of the round of 8 of the playoffs. We have seen some great racing at Homestead over the years. We've already seen one good race today. Let's go for another one. This Xfinity Series race is definitely one to put on a show at this racetrack, and I'm sure we're going to have one again here today. Last week, Riley Herbst really put a beating on the field in the Xfinity Series race, dominated pretty much from start to finish in that one. And we will see if we can have similar domination or will it be more of a competitive race from the drivers who will be in contention throughout the course of this one. No pit stops will be guaranteed through stages 1 and 2. But obviously we are about to find out exactly what those tires will do. I'm sure if we're going to get any sort of caution in the middle point of this race, we will see teams elect to take tires. Going over Dale Jr.'s performance at Bristol a few weeks ago in his first Xfinity race of the season, qualified much deeper in the field for today's race. His first race on a 1.5-mile track since his retirement from full-time competition in the NASCAR Cup Series.
You added Miami to the list as well. What makes this track so fun that you added it to your schedule?
It's really hard. It's slick, worn out. You got to run all over the place. Obviously, we talk about running the fence all the time, but you might have to look around for speed other ways. But it's just the track. I've never been that great here. I definitely want to run in the fence, but hard not to come here when you get an opportunity. It's one of the 1.5 miles with a lot of hard throttle, and you're taking this race car all day.
So, Junior's DJ, not much practice yesterday, and even though you're one of the best ever at running up against the fence, how long will it take you to get comfortable to go up there where all the speed is made?
Yeah, I think that's
hopping with us. You have a great day. Hey, and I appreciate you running around the racetrack and getting the booth one day. Have a good time.
Man, I love you up there, buddy. Hope you'll have fun.
That was a Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer conversation we just had right there. Marty, it's going to be a challenge with Dale Jr. A little behind to qualify.
Yeah, as cars come down pit road to check their pit road speed for the day, let's check out today's starting grid. And as we look at through rows 1 through 5, let's talk about Cole Custer, the only former winner in the field. Clearly has a short run speed by the 0-0 winning the pole, but he told me he's a little bit worried about the long run speed. But guess who was fastest on the 10-lap average? Cole Custer. He clearly has a car to beat. He could get his first win in the playoffs and advance to the championship 4 this afternoon, Kim.
Let's go a little further in the field. Chandler Smith starting the outside of row 6. He has been very consistent in the playoffs, finishing 12th or better in all 4 races, including 3 top 5 finishes. Then Sam Mayer, he's in row 7. Only 1 start here, but it was a 5th place finish. Needs a really good points take. And Sam considers Homestead-Miami Speedway one of his top 2 favorite racetracks, Dave.
A little further down, we'll see that driver owner again, Dale Earnhardt Jr., qualified 23rd. Watch it from there, though, because remember, when he had that good run at Bristol, he got to the lead. He came from 15th starting position. So, as for Mason Massey, talked to him early on in the show today. What can he do from 35th? Well, he had a top 10 at Kansas earlier this year, so he knows how to get to that front group if he needs to. Rick.
That is correct. Yeah, Rick Sarge down here on pit road. We've talked a ton about all the challenges this racetrack presents. One of the things is the sun. That sun, as it starts to set, it rolls over the front straightaway. And when you come off of turn 4, you are looking directly into that sun. We actually have seen wrecks on pit road. Think about last year, Martin Truex on pit road could not see a sign because the sun was right in his eyes. Saw it late, checked up. Now Larson right behind him, hit him, spun him out. So those are the challenges that sun presents. It's a huge deal, and on top of that, going around right against the wall with the sun just beaming in your eyes. Just one more thing to throw at the drivers.
Thanks, Jeff. And yeah, definitely drivers looking out for that. All right, guys, so let's have a look at the keys to victory lane brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage.
Well, we've talked about it. This plays very, very difficult. You have to limit your risk. While the top is the key, you can run 2 feet off from it, be a little bit less risk. May not be as fast, but the chance of getting into the fence, DJ, less of a chance.
Yeah, and another thing is you don't want to waste a set of tires. If like that, if you try to overdrive, you might get turned sideways. Use that set of tires up that you can't use later on.
I think Dale Jr. was cheating because he mentioned that on the radio, so I think he looked at our keys to victory. And big picture, understand what you need. John Hunter can lock in. Don't let your ego try to get you in a position. Just do the best you can.
All right, let's listen in to Austin Hill's radio for a little pep talk.
Mistakes, maximize all day, smooth in the pit, get there at the end, see if we can't go ahead and lock ourselves in here. So what we want to do with anyone else, I appreciate all the hard work from everyone on RCR and ECR. Let's go do it.
2 of the best cars starting.
Caroline McCall, as well as Bill Stegman. Thanks for tuning in for the race today. Kenneth Clark, some others that are just tuning in for the first time here recently. Appreciate all the support you guys have given me all season long. Let's have another solid race here, not only this season, but today with our second live commentary stream. Drop of the green flag is coming up here in a matter of seconds as Cole Custer will lead him into the Geico restart zone, electing the outside lane for this restart. Green flag is in the air. We're underway for the Contender Boats 300 at Homestead. Couple of cars making contact bumper to bumper as they were making blocks outside the top 10 on that inside line, protecting the bottom into the first turn. Brandon Jones got a bit loose before entering. 3 and 4 wide in the middle of the pack as they try to funnel off of turn 2 and get organized down into 3. Still 4 wide in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Cole Custer is going to lead the opening lap of the race as he is cleared by about 3 or 4 car lengths off the exit of turn 4. Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer on the bottom. Not a lot of space between those 2 cars. 3 wide as they work their way up high. Herbst to the outside of them both. Austin Hill and Justin Allgaier battling for second into turn 1, lap 2, and Allgaier will take over that position. Nemechek, who was on the front row on the initial start inside of row 1, fell to 4th, and now it looks like he is under duress from Josh Berry for the 4th place position. Berry to the inside into turns 3 and 4. Nemechek to the middle groove. Hill on the outside in the dirty air behind Justin Allgaier. Great roll through the center of the corner for Nemechek. He'll stay underneath the 21. Clears the 8 of Josh Berry, and he'll look to make the pass on Hill for third into turns 1 and 2 on lap 3. And down on the bottom groove, he's going to slide up the racetrack. Hill into the middle, Berry up near the top. Hill will get cleared by the 20. The 8's coming with a hard charge now off the outside lane. Berry looking to the inside of Austin Hill into turn 3, looking to slide up in front of him and take another spot away from Hill. Dale Jr. up a few positions on the opening lap of the race, up to 18th place after qualifying 23rd, so 5 positions gained in the early laps for Earnhardt. 3 wide just in front of him on the racetrack right now. A couple colleague cars back there. Derek Kraus in the 11, the 10 of Daniel Hemrick. John Hunter Nemechek now getting ran down by Josh Berry. Dale Jr.'s last race he ran at Bristol. 4 of the 5 junior motorsport cars in that race DNF'd, but the only one that finished was Allgaier. He got the win. We'll see if a junior motorsport Chevrolet will go to victory lane again here today, as they currently have 2 of them in the top 4. Dale Jr. into the middle groove, trying to poke out into some clean air. Continues to make some passes, middle of the pack. Getting by Kaz Growell and Jeremy Clements at last lap up to 17th place, riding right in line behind Parker Retzlaff and Derek Kraus in the early going. Lap number 5 of this one here today at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Cole Custer has led the first 3 laps right now from the pole. Justin Allgaier sits in 2nd place. John Hunter Nemechek 3rd. Austin Hill 4th. And Josh Berry rounds out the top 5. Hill making his way back past Berry that last lap. Berry must have had a bit of a hiccup or something, because he was battling Nemechek for 3rd, and now all of a sudden he's a 2.5 behind him and lost a position over the last lap or so. Dale Jr. going to get by Parker Retzlaff on the inside lane through turns 1 and 2, and that'll move Dale into the top 15 now. Already up 8 positions in just 6 laps in this race. Still tightly contested is the field, as we're only, like I mentioned, 6 laps into the race. In fact, the top 20 positions separated by just 7.5 seconds on the leaderboard. Sheldon Creed all the way up near the wall through turns 3 and 4, as close to it as he can get without hitting it, trying to carry as much speed down the straightaway as possible by getting as close to the wall as possible for making those moves. Daniel Hemrick's moving up through the field quite a ways in front of Dale Jr. Really, Dale is following Hemrick, not necessarily in his line, but just in his pathway to getting past cars in front of him. Although Hemrick fails to make the pass on Sheldon Creed for position, and that might allow Jr. to get to the outside into turn 3 and 4. At the front of the field, Cole Custer leads the first 7 laps, but Justin Allgaier has ran him down, and now all of a sudden is within just a couple car lengths of Custer's race car into turn 1. Custer continues to run the bottom lane of the racetrack, but through turns 1 and 2, Allgaier up near the top, cutting down towards the middle to bottom off the exit of the corner, so almost kind of a diamond shape, similar to a line that would be raced at a track like Darlington, which is also another track on the circuit that obviously doesn't have a lot of grip to it. This one a lot wider than that, of course, but Custer now moving off the bottom lane through 3 and 4, taking the line away from Allgaier that last lap, and Justin couldn't get quite as close to the back of the 00 as the lap before, but again in 1 and 2, Custer goes right back to the bottom. So it must be the handling of that 00 that he doesn't feel that he can run the middle to upper groove in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 seems to be a little bit more stable for him down there at that end of the racetrack. Allgaier continues to close the gap down through 1 and 2, and again goes to stay into the outside lane. He's about a full lane wider than Custer, who ran more of the middle line most of the way through 3 and 4. Nemechek within 1.1 seconds off the lead as well. That last lap, it looked like Custer was actually a little bit quicker than Allgaier, but John Hunter Nemechek in 3rd actually ran faster laps than both the top 2 cars on the racetrack. Kind of a heat back there just outside the top 10 between positions 12 and 15 on the racetrack, all battling for position. Dale Jr., biggest mover in the early 10 laps of this race, up 9 positions, looking to get by Sheldon Creed for 13th currently. Custer extends his lead as he was again faster than Allgaier that last lap, but once again, Nemechek faster than both the top 2 cars for the second consecutive lap from 3rd place, and he has now cut his deficit down to 0.9 of a second off the race leader, Cole Custer. He's running a little bit higher than both cars in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, Allgaier is the highest on the racetrack, it seems like, on a lap-by-lap basis. Dale Jr. on the back bumper of Sheldon Creed on the back straightaway, looking to make a move. Earnhardt looking into the middle line. Creed all the way up near the wall on the outside through 3 and 4. Parker Kligerman on the outside right in front of the two. Creed doesn't really have much of anywhere to go. He's getting boxed in. And Dale's going to lose a spot. It looks like the Kaz Grollo on the front straightaway by giving up that outside lane. He really didn't have much of anywhere to go there, though. Kligerman kind of holding up some of these cars in front of him. Sheldon Creed pulls out a line to make a pass on Kligerman through 3 and 4. Kligerman with the crossover to get underneath him. And Grollo into the outside to bump draft Sheldon Creed at the end of the backstretch and push him forward into turn 3. Kligerman on the bottom. We'll see if he can slide up and clear the 2. If not, he may be in danger of losing a couple positions to both the 26 and the 88. Battle for second on the racetrack now between Justin Allgaier and John Hunter Nemechek. For a couple laps, Allgaier got to the back bumper of Cole Custer, but then Custer started to hit another gear or something, slipped away. Allgaier's car is starting to fade now as we get more than 10 laps into the run, and John Hunter Nemechek puts the battle to the 7 car for second. Nemechek looking to the middle group through 3 and 4, trying to get underneath the 7, but still run a slightly wider line, not to give up too much speed down the straightaways. He'll pull onto the inside of Allgaier's race car, side draft him down the front straightaway, and now he'll take the launch angle into turn 1 all the way down to the bottom. He's going to slide up, trying to clear, and he is going to be cleared. Now, will Allgaier carry momentum enough to get him back on the other end of the track? Doesn't look like he's going to have that much speed off turn 2 to be able to do so. So, pass for second place made. First commercial break of the race here today. We'll go through the top 10 in the running order on lap 13. Cole Custer currently a race leader. Justin Allgaier is second. John Hunter Nemechek third. Austin Hill in fourth. Josh Berry fifth. Sammy Smith in sixth. Sam Mayer seventh. Riley Hurst eighth. Brett Moffitt ninth. And Ryan Sieg currently rounds out your top 10. Average race speed of 147.78 miles per hour in the early laps of today's Contender Boats 300 at Homestead. You're listening live on KRC. Be sure to hit that like button on the stream. Our goal is 100 likes for today's race. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Road to 5,000 subscribers. Try to get there before the end of the NASCAR season. We'll have more live commentary coming your way for the rest of this race. Flag to flag coverage continues after this break. You're listening live on KRC. Kathleen Schwartz, also welcome to the stream. Got just over 70 people watching right now. Appreciate it. Be sure to place your vote for who you think will win today's race in the poll. 24 votes casted in the early laps of the race. 28% say Cole Custer is going to get the win. 24% for John Hunter Nemechek. 12% for Justin Allgaier, and other at 36%. So pretty tight poll between a few of those votes. Carson Hocevar winning the truck race. Other won the poll, and other ended up winning of the votes. So, see if you guys can go 2 for 2 today on that voting poll. Collectively, of course. Yeah, Nemechek very consistently is about a 10th quicker than Cole Custer per lap. That was both before he passed Allgaier for second and since he has passed Allgaier for second. So, as that continues on, we'll see if he can end up making a move at some point here, but I don't think that that's going to necessarily happen. Allgaier is pretty far ahead of Austin Hill. About 3 seconds ahead of him. Lap time-wise, Hill a little bit quicker than Allgaier that last lap, so it'll be interesting to see if Justin continues to fade as we still have about 28 laps to go in Stage 1. A lot of racing left, though, in this one. Extra 100 miles than what we saw in the truck race earlier today, which timed in at about an hour and 48 minutes. With only 3 cautions per incident. And that first race today went caution-free through Stage 1. So far, so good here as far as the cautions go for Stage 1 in the Xfinity Series race. Again, you can watch the race live on the USA Network. Or, of course, continue the live commentary coverage, at least, of this race through this stream. Hemrick is in the running order a bit.
on pit road.
We'll check in with the team, and we did ask Sheldon, is the car doing anything funny? What are your gauges doing? Sheldon said everything seems fine. All of my gauges look good. Since then, no radio communication, so seems to be business as usual right now for Sheldon Creed.
So now in this shot right here, it's hard to tell because of the flat black tail. You know, the wheel doesn't look like... So oil 280, I mean, they run these cars pretty hot now. Normally what happens when you have some liquid, it kind of blows up onto the tail, and then the grime from the racetrack sticks to the liquid and it changes colors. Actually, funny story, that's why most cars do prefer to run a flat black tail. Like the old 88 Dale Jr. cars, we would run black tails because it's very hard to see liquid. So you might at least get to the yellow before you get black flagged. And there's two cars the same way, really hard to tell what it is. I've asked him a couple times about his gauges, so it doesn't sound like it's, you know, anything serious yet, but definitely a concern we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Creed running in the 10th position right now. And again, I mentioned that Earnhardt was behind him.
Concern is, you know, it's one thing if we had 24 to go in the race, but we have 24 to go in stage 1, 179 to go in the race. So if it is a slow leak and something they'll see on the pit stop, they'll have to come up with a plan to try to repair it. It can't be something as simple as overfilled oil itself, and it can blow out the breather of the oil tank. That would make sense from kind of what they're talking about, DJ. We'll just have to wait and see.
They want to keep that momentum of confidence because that sets the tone for where they start the next season. Riley told me, yes, their car is good here. Probably not quite as good as it was last weekend at Vegas, but they will be competitive. Currently running in the 7th position. Marty, though, they are having a little bit of radio trouble on that 98 car.
Kim, just 3 races left for Josh Berry in the Xfinity.
Herb's starting to close in. It looks like on Sammy Smith for position as well. Josh Berry's fallen back to 10th place during the course of the run. Looking at the top 10 right now, it seems like all the junior motorsport cars are starting to fade a bit on the long run. We mentioned already that Dale Jr. was as high as 13th in the running order, now back to 16th. And then we talk about some of those other guys. Allgaier was up in 2nd. He is now obviously back to 3rd. His lap times, though, are being outran by some of the cars behind him. Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, both running quicker laps. Riley Herbst as well, all running quicker laps than that of Justin Allgaier. Sheldon Creed in 9th, same thing. So that is something to look out for there. See if they can get a little bit better on the longer runs. Josh Berry, again, he was as high as 4th and now is back to 10th place. His lap times are fairly slow compared to a lot of other cars around him, both just in front and behind in the running order. So going to have to quicken up the junior motorsport Chevys for the long run if they're going to want any sort of contention to win the race with any of the 5 of them on the racetrack currently. Sheldon Creed battling Brett Moffitt for position. Battle for 8th on the racetrack. Creed went to the inside through 1 and 2, but could not make the pass. 7-second lap time. There was a ton of fall off in the Xfinity Series race already today. In the Truck Series race, earlier today. Again, about a 30-lap green flag run, 3 seconds of fall off. Well, get this, 25 laps into the race, our race leader, Cole Custer, that last lap he just ran was 3.6 seconds slower than the fastest lap he ran in this run on lap 2. So 25 laps in, and even slower long run speed pace for these Xfinity cars than what we saw in the Truck Series earlier today. We were still seeing lap times right around the 35, 36-second lap barrier at the end of the runs in the truck race, and we're seeing lap times in the mid-37s right now in this Xfinity Series race. I mean, we're getting to the point we're almost at 4 seconds of fall off in just 25 laps. That is a massive, massive difference. Not something you would typically see because a lot of the older surfaces seems to be on short tracks, but the track's not big enough to have that much of a fall off. You know, the only thing I can think of is like Richmond or North Wilkesboro where it's like 2 to 3 seconds over a full run. But, I mean, this is 25 laps in. You're almost 4 seconds slower a lap. That is insane. It's how much the tires degrade at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Creed again looking to the inside in 1 and 2. Second time in the span of about 3 laps, he's going to try to pass Brett Moffitt. He'll slide clear of him this time. Moffitt carries the momentum through the center of the corner. Gets to the back bump. Stage points as he can in this first stage. So we have about 16 laps to go right now in stage 1. Still caution-free to this point. Quickest car on the racetrack that last lap was right back to the race leader of Cole Custer of a 37.603. Only about 16 thousandths of a second quicker than Jonathan Nemechek, who was running it down slowly. And then once he got to within about 8/10 of a second, Custer picked up the pace a little bit more and now has stretched the lead out to nearly 2 seconds over the 20 car. One guy pulling out a line at the inside, looking to pass another lap car, the 45 of Ryan Ellis, or rather Leland Honeyman in the 45 this week. Ellis in the 43. The tail end of the lead lap still. Kaz Grala's moved his way into the top 10 during this run. Josh Berry's fallen all the way to 14th. They're running in 4th place just about a dozen laps into the race. You fast forward about another 17, 18 laps later, and he's lost 10 positions. So Grala in the top 10 for the first time. Custer getting by another lap car, Jeb Burton, it appears. 15 to go in stage 1. Full screen commercial break right now on the USA Network. Again, your update of the top 10 of the intervals between those positions. Cole Custer with a 2.1 second lead over Nemechek in second. Justin Allgaier's 4.4 seconds back in third. Austin Hill in fourth, 6.2 seconds off the lead. Sam Mayer in fifth place, 6.3 seconds back. Sheldon Creed in sixth is 6.8 seconds off the lead. 7.2 seconds back is Riley Herbst in seventh. Eighth place is Brett Moffitt. He's 7.4 seconds behind Custer. 10.5 seconds off the lead is Sammy Smith in ninth. And Kaz Grala still runs out the top 10. He's 11.9 seconds off of race leader Cole Custer. That is your top 10 in the running order. We'll take a quick ad break here. You're listening live to KRC, this NASCAR YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Creed drives for RCR. 2-car. Oh, who is Creed going to drive? Oh, yeah, he drives for RCR now. Of course, he will not be in the 2 next season. So, yeah, I'm not sure what rides will be available for him. Remember JGR? We'll see. There will definitely be a ride or 2 open there. Big Smoke JoJo, thanks for tuning in. Once again, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Goal of 100 likes on the stream today. We're up to 38. As of right now, 29 cars on the lead lap. That number will continue to decrease. Let's get further along here in this first stage. Nemechek quicker than Custer the last 3 laps. Not sure how much lap traffic may be affecting that at all. Lead has been cut from 2.2 seconds back to now 1.5 back. 4 seconds of fall off and just over 30 laps over the course of this first stage. All ran under green. No caution laps or cautions have been had so far today. Jeffrey Earnhardt is the final car in the lead lap at 29th, trying to stay on the lead lap, but with 11 to go yet in the stage, that probably won't happen. I'm probably going to say you're going to want to look to about Josh Williams in 23rd as probably going to be right around the last driver on the lead lap or the first driver lap down somewhere in that area. So I would imagine that the race leaders could probably lap up to about 23rd or 24th place before the end of this first stage. Nemechek again quicker, 2 laps in a row. He was 0.2 quicker than Cole Custer, so the lead is now 1.1 seconds with 10 to go in the stage, so that pace is quick enough to definitely get to the 00 before we come to an end of this stage. Close quarters racing there for Sheldon Creed. Had a little bit of a bobble, then ended up scraping the wall off turn 2. Got really sideways and made a great save down the banking of the racetrack. And even in the midst of that, he's still driven up to 5th. He wasn't 4th, but Sam Mayer was able to get around him after that slide. And hopefully that didn't burn the rear tires off the car too badly for Creed, but he's holding on strong for right now. Definitely a racetrack that suits his driving style. Up near the wall and maybe pushed it a little bit over the edge moments ago. Creed is -35 for Sammy Smith. Creed up into the top 5 early right now. Looking to capitalize on some of those drivers who are above the cutoff line that aren't even in the top 10. Cole Custer, though, who that final driver above the cutoff line coming into the race today on the cut line, plus 15 points, is the one who has dominated the race so far and has led every lap from the pole. John Hunter Nemechek still finding something on the racetrack, though, as the grip level may be worsening for Cole Custer more so than a lot of other drivers. Showing the mile per hour as they run on USA Network's leaderboard with the race leader, Cole Custer, he drops to mid-corner speeds of 119 miles per hour. That is insane drop for a 1.5 mile racetrack. That is just, again, how much these tires have fallen off. They've kind of clipped over the last probably 8 to 10 laps. They have dropped about 4 seconds off the pace, but they don't seem to be dropping more than that. 45 laps is about as much as you want to ask out of these tires, to be completely honest. And Jeffrey Earnhardt's still the last driver on the lead lap. I'm surprised that Custer hasn't been able to work himself closer to any other lap cars to this point in the run. Nemechek now just 0.8 of a second behind Custer. Running out of time to get there, though. Jeffrey Earnhardt right in front of Custer. Custer going to have to move off the wall a little bit. This is going to scrub some speed off. One car was slow on the access road entering pit road through turns 3 and 4. Not sure who that was, but somebody has dropped off the pace. It's a white car of some sort. 5 to go now in the stage, and again, Custer could not pass Jeffrey Earnhardt as he had to go to the bottom. Not all the way down to the white line on the bottom, but in the middle groove, again, off the wall. That is allowed now for John Hunter Nemechek to continue to run Custer down for this stage win. Custer got alongside Jeffrey Earnhardt off of turn 2, and that car is the 28, by the way. And that car is on fire right now in the pits. Trying to scroll through the leaderboard real quick to see who that exactly is. CJ McLaughlin in the 28 car. So McLaughlin was that slow car in the access road heading into the pits about a lap ago now, and car was on fire on its way in. Hosed it off, and looks like we are going to continue under green. No caution for that. I don't think it maybe caught fire until it came to a stop in the pit box. That's the reason why there wasn't a caution before that. They had put the fire out of harm's way, so we do continue to stay green. Custer was struggling to get by Jeffrey Earnhardt. That lead got down to about 0.4 of a second. As soon as he passed the 44, now the 20 car is going to have to worry about trying to pass him. And that has allowed Custer to get that lead back out to about a second again. Sheldon Creed battling Justin Allgaier for 4th. Sam Mayer made a pass on Allgaier for 3rd a lap or 2 ago. Dale Jr. fighting back up to 13th place as well on the grid. We'll see if Creed can pick up this next point. Sam Mayer's done a great job running down the 20 car of John Hunter Nemechek. He's going to look to the inside of the 20 in turns 1 and 2. Sheldon Creed sliding up the racetrack as he pulls a slide job of his own on Justin Allgaier for 4th. Allgaier fighting his car to the middle groove to try to cross the 2 back over. He's going to get there. And now Allgaier on the bottom is clear. Looking to slide up. He slides way too far on that bottom lane. No grip for Justin Allgaier. So loose in the middle of the corner. Dirt tracking his way off of turn 4. And he lost the spot to not only Creed, but Brett Moffitt got back around him on the outside as well. Moffitt moves to 5th. Creed to 4th. Sam Mayer on that last lap was able to get to 2nd, passing John Hunter Nemechek. He's closed the gap to within about 7 or 8 car lengths behind Cole Custer on the final lap of Stage 1, but obviously he's not going to have enough time to get there. Running a full lane later than Custer. It looks like he was absolutely against that wall What little room there was, he did keep it off the wall. Cole Custer dominates stage 1, leading all 45 laps, and he'll pick up yet another stage 1 on the season. Sam Mayer finishes second in stage 1. John Hunter Nemechek third. Sheldon Creed fourth. Brett Moffitt fifth. Justin Allgaier sixth. Riley Herb seventh. Austin Hill eighth. Kaz Gralla ninth. And Daniel Hemrick rounds out the top 10 in stage number 1. For Custer, that is his 8th stage win of the season. And again, playoff points do not carry over into the next round, with this being the round of 8, and that is because the Championship 4 is just a single race, kind of a winner-take-all, if you will, for the 4 drivers that are racing for the championship, so it's based off of finish alone. So no playoff point here, but there is obviously 10 points for this round that is going to be huge for Custer, who came in, again, plus 15 points into this one. Again, here's the look at the standings coming into the day. John Hunter Nemechek was plus 47. Justin Allgaier plus 21. Austin Hill plus 19. Cole Custer plus 15. All receiving stage points in stage 1 today. Chandler Smith minus 15 was outside the top 10. Sam Mayer got minus 41 points for him. So Creed looking to cut into the deficit. Same for Sam Mayer. And maybe even contend for a race win that will lock them into the round and not even have to worry about Martinsville next week. So that is your stage 1 results here today in this race. Ryan Newman out of the race with the rear gear issue. Well, that's a tough break. Very short-lived race for Newman. He was in the 66 car today, and unfortunately, yeah, he did pull into the garage there, middle of the race. I think that is a MBM owned race car. Pull that car into the garage at some point here before pit road opens as well. So McLaughlin Newman out of the race today. Kind of weird to see Ryan Newman in the Xfinity Series field. Not sure where that came about, but cool to see him there. Unfortunate that he didn't even make it to the end of stage 1 before a mechanical issue.
Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. All right, Steve, pit stop's about ready to take place, and pit stalls were selected earlier this week.
Well, so John Hunter Nemechek had a mechanical issue last week in Las Vegas in practice, and for that reason didn't get to qualify. Now, he recovered and finished second, no problem. But because of that lack of qualifying, he was assigned a pit stall at the end. So here is the 20 right here. Why does that matter? Because in front of him is the 18, who will come in around him. If he got to pick his own pit stall, he'd be down here at opening or somewhere else. So going to be very interesting with the 20 running third, the 18 of the Sammy Smith running 14th. He's going to come around the 20. 20's really going to have to stop back to be able to get out and not get blocked in.
And here come one of the lead lap cars onto pit road. There's 26 of them, Kim.
Including Sheldon Creed. He said it was 2 free laps lateral grip. Then once he bumped the wall, he said he got tighter. Top right of your screen, Sam Mayer, what a good run for him on the free side. He said, I'm so fast though, so I don't want to take too much speed off of it with a negative adjustment. So Marty Lindley, air pressure, he said, on Ford pressure on your tires, so no fuel, Dave.
These pit boxes are on the larger side, so they stop John Hunter Nemechek short. Looks like he'll have plenty of room to exit. Now, we'll tighten up the race car, Marty.
Dave, a perfect stage 1 for Cole Custer. He's led every lap to this point. He said he's too tight to roll the speed in 3 and 4, and he can't get that last little bit on the high line like everybody else. Custer's team also delivers on pit road. They come in with the lead, and they leave with the lead, Rick.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed, he's been making some moves on the racetrack. Well, his team also making some moves. Gained a spot there.
5 positions lost for Brett Moffitt, biggest loser of those that were on pit road that time that entered into the top 10. We'll wait for our leaderboard to update when we get back to the start-finish line this next time by. We're going to take a quick ad break here before we get back to the Stage 2 action. You're listening live on KRC, this NASCAR YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, once again, for more daily NASCAR content. Michael Turner, Wyatt Gamer TV, thanks for tuning in. Jeff Sperry, welcome back to the stream as well. First pit stops of the day have concluded during the Stage 1 break. Currently sitting at 45 likes on the stream. Our goal again is 100 for the end of this one. Free pass was awarded to Jeffrey Earnhardt during that last caution, or the Stage 1 caution, I should say. 27 cars will be on the lead lap to begin Stage 2. Just as we had in the Truck Series race earlier this afternoon. But one stage in the books, no caution to this point. For incident, at least. Obviously, we're under caution now, but that was the lap 45 stage end. And we knew we were going to get. We'll have at least one more of those. Which will be at lap 90 for the Stage 2 end. And once again, that will be when the poll will conclude. So if you have not guessed or voted, I should say, if you have not voted for who you think will win today's Xfinity race in that poll, you can vote for either Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Allgaier, or other. Still a relatively tight poll right now. 37% of you say somebody other than those three would win. 26% say Custer, who has dominated the race so far. John Hunter Nemechek in third at the end of that stage. 23% of the votes, and Allgaier, who was fifth, I believe, at the end of Stage 1, if I remember correctly, has 15% of those votes. So Dale Jr. was 14th out of pit road, so he lost one spot there from 13th back to 14th. His pit crew pretty good when he was at Bristol when I was there for that race. Considering that the 88 team doesn't pit every single week, considering that they don't enter in every race throughout the course of the season.
Look at Sam there and Sheldon Creed. I mean, that was really impressive where they came from during that run to get themselves right up into the mix. And one of those two wins, oh my goodness, the things for the playoffs really get shaken up going to Martinsville next week.
Well, the two on the other side, the 7 of Allgaier, good speed early, kind of lost the handling on old tires. And Austin Hill, he lost 3 spots in about 3 laps. Then he had a big gap behind him, so it ended up working okay. But you have to wonder what kind of speed the 7 and the 21 can have after adjustments.
We also have to keep our eye on the 2. There was mention of possibility of fluid, but we haven't heard anything of that. And he had a great run there toward the end. Take a look at the points that they earned in Stage 1. As you see, Cole Custer winning the most points you can with the 10 points for the win of the stage. Sam Mayer 9, Nemechek 8, Sheldon Creed 7, Allgaier gaining 5. As far as playoff drivers go, Austin Hill with 3.
And one missing, Chandler Smith was unable to score points, and all that does is make the task ahead just a little bit harder.
Dave, what's going on with the 0-8?
Well, Rick, folks will remember in pre-race we told the story of how Mason has overcome his fear of talking because he has a stutter by working hard at it. Now, one of the things you have to do as a race car driver is deliver information clearly to your crew chief. This was before he just stopped.
Almost undrivable. It's just, I go with the corner, put on the gas, it gets really, really tight. And then, like every time I touch the gas, like, I don't know if it's going to shove the nose 50 feet at the track or it's going to spit out. I just have no idea.
So that was him before the pit stop. They gave him adjustments to make up for that. It wasn't great news, but it was very clearly communicated. You never know he had a stutter.
Yeah, Dave. And, of course, tomorrow is International Stuttering Awareness Day. Mason Massey out of Douglasville, Georgia, wanted to make everyone aware you can reach your goals even if you have something that is trying to block you from that. You think about what he's done in his career of racing. He's won over 300 races that he's been a part of, 11 championships, 10 track records. Really impressive what Mason Massey has done. As a matter of fact, one of the first races that he ran in, he was so nervous to do the interview, he backed off and didn't win the race on purpose. And so you think about that, how much he has grown in his racing career.
Yeah, just an incredible story. And I'll tell you what, that was a detailed description of what he was going through. I don't know, Steve, as the crew chief, you can fix all of that, but you can try.
Getting ready for the restart, Sam Mayer now on the inside of Cole Custer. Will Sam Mayer have anything for the double zeros? We get ready to start.
Mayer and Creed were really rocketing towards the front of the field there. They just ran out of time in stage 1 and reset fresh tires, and stage 2 begins. We'll see what they'll have for Cole Custer. Green flag is back in the air as we're back to racing. Sam Mayer with a good launch through the restart zone. Half a car length clear in the middle of 1 and 2. And he is looking to clear Custer fully up the exit of the corner. He's going to slide up, and he is clear. Sam Mayer to the lead. Back straightaway. Custer going to try to cross him over. Custer back to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Mayer drives it in hard in the center lane. Widens out towards the wall now. Custer off the bottom. Still stays door to door. Battle for the lead as they drag race down the front straightaway. Sam Mayer leads that lap, his first lap led of the day. Custer clear in the middle of 1 and 2. He's going to slide up in front of Mayer. Mayer is going to stay underneath him. Custer slides too far wide. Crossover incoming for Sam Mayer, and they'll battle for the lead again down the backstretch as they trade lines back and forth on the racetrack. It is allowing now 3rd and 4th place of Justin Allgaier and John Hunter Nemechek to close in. Mayer not going to be able to clear Custer in the center of 3 and 4. Through the bumps, both cars go up the hill a little bit as they chase. Custer will lead this lap as he is clear. Mayer ducks in line behind him to widen his groove out, getting into turns 1 and 2. Custer down to the bottom. Mayer to the middle line. Allgaier is closing in on both cars as mentioned. Also runs the bottom tightly to the white line. And looks to close in there on Sam Mayer just a little bit. Allgaier had a very good takeoff on that last run. Remember, he caught Custer and then ended up falling behind once he got to within a few car lengths. About 10 laps into the run plus is where the 7 really struggled. Lap time-wise, I do remember seeing Sheldon Creed run better laps than what Cole Custer was running late in that run, but he was only able to get up to 4th. Justin Allgaier now looking to the inside of Sam Mayer. Can't complete the pass. Mayer keeps the momentum forward on the backstretch. Allgaier going to slow his car down with that little bit of a side draft getting into turn 3. They're still door to door, so the 7's not going to be able to clear him off the exit of the corner. He's going to, never mind, he is going to slide up and he is cleared. I almost wonder if Mayer might have lifted a little extra in the middle of the corner to allow his teammate to move up in front of him. So he actually cleared him by quite a bit. The closer Allgaier gets to the back of the double zero, running in the same line as him, the harder it's going to be to actually keep the car pinned to the inside. It's going to be so aerotight. Allgaier may have to move his line. Custer continues to run the same line as Allgaier. That time they both went to the middle groove, just about a lane off the exact middle, but a couple lanes off the wall yet. Mayer and Nemechek go all the way to the wall in 3 and 4. And Mayer going all the way to the wall in turns 1 and 2. Allgaier not on the bottom that time, stays in the middle. Custer again goes to the inside in 1 and 2. As we saw through most of stage 1, it's where he really liked to run up until got about halfway through the stage where the tires would fall off so much that you just can't run the bottom anymore. Have to be able to run the top, as that is where the most grip is going to be had later in the run. And it tends to be where the most speed is at throughout the course of the run. The momentum you can carry off the banking with the progressive banking in the middle of the corner. You have a lot more straight line speed off the outside than what you would off that inside lane to the flatness of both straightaways on the racetrack. 0.6 of a second advantage for Custer over Allgaier. Sam Mayer is 1.1 seconds back in third. John Hunter Nemechek 1.2 seconds back in fourth. And Austin Hill's 1.8 seconds off the lead in fifth. Mayer right up against the wall through 3 and 4. Nemechek to the inside. Mayer losing touch of the two cars in front of him right now. So we'll see if Nemechek will not waste time in passing Mayer for third. Continues to look into that middle groove. He gets underneath Mayer in the middle of the corner. Can't stay underneath him by the exit. This time he does. I think Mayer barely clear getting into turns 3 and 4. Nemechek not overly aggressive with the side draft that time. In that middle groove through 3 and 4. Only about a car length of a width difference between where the 20 and the 1 car was in the middle of the corner there. Not a lot of spacing to be had. Mayer obviously pressed against the wall, couldn't go any higher. Not without touching it, at least. Don't want to do that. Sheldon Creed's fallen all the way back to 10th, and I almost wonder if he maybe could serving his tires just a little bit. His lap time about 0.4 of a second off of the 9th place car in front of him of Chandler Smith. Backing it up a little bit now to get the run later in the run and try to press harder when other drivers can't press hard. So we'll see how far back he'll fall before he starts to move forward. Dale Jr. has moved backwards a couple spots since the restart from 14th back to 15th. Just one spot lost. 13th at the end of stage one. I know a lot of you guys probably want to know where he was running. Of course, being NASCAR's fan favorite for the majority of his NASCAR career. Cole Custer out in front of the field still, 0.4 of a second ahead of Justin Allgaier in P2. John Hunter Nemechek is still in third. And you have Sam Mayer in fourth, Austin Hill fifth, Riley Herbst sixth, Parker Kligerman seventh, Josh Berry eighth, Chandler Smith ninth, Kaz Grala is in 10th. So that is your top 10 in the running order with 28 laps to go in stage 2. So we'll take a quick ad break here and keep our action rolling. You're listening live, KRC, this NASCAR YouTube channel. Roxy Bollinger, thanks for tuning in. Zane Smith has been disqualified for windshield support violation. Somebody in our stream mentioned something about the windshield not looking right on Zane Smith's race truck. He ended up finishing second, so it didn't really matter much anyway, considering he didn't make it to the championship 4 with the win. Shout out to Villanor for spotting that middle of the race, that it looked a little funny. Riley Herbst, Austin Hill on the racetrack battling for 5th. Showing a replay of the 16 of Chandler Smith getting extremely loose. I almost wonder if it was a bit of aero loose there from the 18 of Sammy Smith, who was right on his back bumper. It didn't touch him, but maybe took the air out from underneath the rear spoiler of the race car. Definitely caused it to get a bit sideways. Great save by Chandler Smith. Did end up losing that position, though, to Sammy Smith, and it was already underneath of another car, and obviously he couldn't make the pass there either. Riley Herbst to the outside of the 21. That's going to be where he's going to be in the best spot to make the pass. Middle of turns 3 and 4. Herbst should be able to clear Hill on the front straightaway and does. So Riley Herbst up to 5th place. Passing Austin Hill. He's the only non-playoff driver inside the top 6 positions on the racetrack. His teammate Cole Custer, though, has dominated this one and has led all 66 laps so far. Well, has led 65 of 66. The only lap he didn't lead was Sam Mayer, leading 1 lap on that last restart. He was a half a car length ahead of Custer. Lap 22, about halfway through stage 2 at this point. Showing that replay of Chandler Smith getting sideways once again. Great save. Caution is out for the second time today, as it looks like the 74 of Dawson Cram has gone around on the racetrack. And his tire has come off as well, so that might be the cause of the caution. Left rear tire has come off of Dawson Cram's race car. You can definitely tell he got up against the outside wall with the driver's side of the race car first. No heavy damage on the car, but definitely that tire coming off probably caused him to whip back around backwards into the wall and then back down the bank into the racetrack. That is in turns 1 and 2. And the tire has made it to the back straightaway and has hit the inside safer barrier. Will probably come to a stop somewhere down there. Although it has not stopped yet. It's still rolling. Inertia is going to take over at some point in time here. It's not sure when. Cram is out of the race car. Good to see. He'll be headed to the infield care center under his own power. This is the first incidental caution. I'm not sure if he maybe just came off of pit road or what the case was there, but left rear tire definitely came up off the car and probably caused it to spin. Haven't seen a replay yet, but you'd have to imagine that that is what happened. And as we're in the middle going to the stage, each team has 4 sets of tires. I would imagine we are going to see pit stops take place here. He goes around, just barely missed one of the cars that was running on that outside lane right behind him. It looked like the 08 of Mason Massey. It's a car that barely escaped by the spinning 74 of Cram. Quite a bit of damage to the left side of the race car, but again, he is okay, and it's a good sign. Definitely tail whipped around on him pretty hard there. Jeb Burton's going to get the free pass in 28th place, so he'll be back on the lead lap to begin this next green flag stint. I was imagining we were going to see a lot of pit stops there. Pit road was open, but very few drivers end up actually taking that opportunity to change tires, so a lot of these teams will still remain at 3 sets. There was a couple of them at the tail end of the field that came in. I think I saw Derek Kraus of the 11 come in and maybe a couple more cars behind him. Kraus was in 21st when the caution came out. So he's not going to lose too many positions. He'll take on fresh tires. Well, we've seen a big difference, and maybe he can go up there and contest for the stage win late in this stage as well. So Cole Custer out in front of the field here as we are under caution for the second time today, and again, our first for incident at lap 69. Up to 48 likes on the stream. Once again, be sure to hit the like button if you guys have not done so on the stream. And again, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. So we look to get to 5,000 subs before the end of the season. Race is on a full screen commercial break during this caution period. I'll let you guys listen into some of the broadcast when they come back from that break, leading into the next restart. Again, no takers up in the top portion of the field coming onto pit road. Only about maybe 3 or 4 cars at the tail end of the lead lap made their way onto pit lane and took fresh tires. They try to get some sort of an advantage. Sheldon Creed fell all the way back to 13th before that caution came out. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there. He was just backing off so much trying to save his tires. I don't know why you would want to fall back that many positions in saving your tires before trying to move forward, but must have went the wrong way on an adjustment out of the 2 camp.
NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Credit One Bank, a credit card company. Getting ready for the choose and one to go before the restart here. It looks like they're going to be restarting with 18 laps to go in stage 2. Currently, Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in the 14th spot. Let's dial him up on the radio, see.
Hey, Junior, it's Booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, first things first, you're coming to want to go in the choose, so don't let me talk over that, but we're listening in. Give us a little update on how the race has been.
Hold on, spotter, tell me how many's going to take the outside, and I'll talk to you right after we make that decision.
All right, well, let's listen in. This is Joey Meyer on top of the roof. Probably got to count off.
Runway leader, outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go, come on.
All right, that was good to listen.
2. Give us a quick update before green.
Well, we started off really good at the start of the race, moving forward pretty good, real happy with the car. Then I got a little bit tight, and we made some adjustments to try to make our car better, and I think we need to undo those. But right now, if I turn in the middle of both ends, you know, when you like turn at a low grip track, you're going to be in trouble. It's kind of, I got to hold pace here. We got to hold our tracking as best we can for the next 20 laps here, get another adjustment on this car, see if we can't make better for the end.
All right, now remember, restart on old tires here. Nice and easy, don't lighten things up. Sounded good, Joey.
No chance I don't spin the tires.
Thanks to Fast Pro Shop. Johnny Morris was on the Dale Jr. download this week on Tuesday. He's on the hood of this car. Longtime supporter of Dale's. And to be quite honest, just a huge supporter of NASCAR. Johnny, if you're listening, thanks for everything you do for NASCAR and giving us this great view on the 88.
You know what was fun? They shot a piece with Isla fishing. So Dale Jr., Dale and Amy's oldest daughter, Isla, out fishing.
It did feel so excited. It did feel good to tell him what to do one more time. Don't spin those tires.
And he said, not a chance. Getting ready for the restart here. It'll be 18 to go in stage 2.
Justin Allgaier getting into the back. He had a good run there. Cole Custer couldn't get his up to speed. Allgaier had a good run, but then got hit in the back.
Look at this chaos through 1 and 2. They are everywhere.
John Hunter Nemechek said, thank you, boys. He was third in line, and the first 2 took that outside lane, and here John Hunter is leading the race.
By 2 car lengths right now as Sam Mayer, the one using that low line, trying to clear the 0-0 of Cole Custer. It's not going to make that complete.
He had his chance a little before that, probably a little early to do that. Don't want to make him mad right at this point. Late in the race, he would have definitely shut up.
How about Parker Kligerman in the 48 running up here inside the top 4 right now?
Yeah, I watched him that last run. He really got himself going around at the top of the racetrack right against the wall and was making some really good time and obviously had a good restart here.
Allgaier trying to make up some ground once again as Mayer has the momentum. They're right behind the 0-0 of Cole Custer. Allgaier can't get to the inside of the 48. Now he dives back down to the bottom of the racetrack, as does Austin Hill. Will he slide up? Allgaier staying all the way down at the bottom, and he's going to clear that 48 of Kligerman. Dave.
Rick, when I talked to Parker before the race, he talked about the wall and running it, and he said, for me, it's a go-to thing. I'll go to it when the time is right. Early on, it was not, but you guys noticed it. Late in that run, in this stage, he is making time on the top line. He's confident with it now. He's going forward.
You know, the only thing better than making time on the top is making time with new tires, because you feel like Superman on the racetrack. On the Derek Cross in the 11, you see him right side of your screen on the bottom of the racetrack. You see on the left side the brand new tires. He's up to 5th. It should be an easy stage win, I think, for Derek Krause. Brand new tires, but just remember, he now has a set less than the rest of the field, so you want to make him work. He runs right at the bottom, like he's in a different class of race car. He has so much.
Yeah.
His last lap, under 35 seconds, and the only one to run down in that bracket.
It's like we're IMSA racing. Right now we have a prototype of the GT class is what we have. New tires and used. Look at this right here. The last lap, nearly almost 5 miles an hour faster. He did 2 in 1 corner. This is what it looked like when DJ was unlapping himself that day at Indy.
It's fun when things are happening. You have a good guy, and it just shows how much the tires matter here, and how quickly they go away, and how much ground you can gain. So that's why tomorrow the Cup guys are glad that they have a lot more tires to work with.
Well, and this is why we were thinking Chandler Smith might have tried it and win this stage for the 10 points, but now flip it. If you get the wrong yellow late, you have no chance at the end of the race. So I like the Chandler Smith. I could have gone either way. I think that's a true coin flip for the other call it car. But right now it's Derek Krause. He's going to drive right off the front of this field, 13 to go. Kim, that 11 has to feel really good right now.
Absolutely, Steve, with those fresher tires. Remember, he's never run here in Xfinity. He's got some truck experience here, but this is his first time in the Xfinity Series car at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And crew chief Jason Trencher told me he's typically a bottom feeder. So we talk about these young drivers at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
used by our booth and drivers more today than I've ever heard here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And it's funny because this morning, that's the word Cole Custer used. He will run the top in 3 and 4, DJ, but not in 1 and 2. He told me, I'm going to bide my time. I don't need to be up there right away, which is exactly what Dale Jr. said in the pre-race. So, patience, DJ, where does that rank in your vocabulary here at Homestead-Miami?
Yeah, I used to tell people a lot of times as I was talking to groups whenever we had hospitalities for UPS and Coca-Cola and others, and I would talk about race drivers being patient. They couldn't understand that, what that meant. It looks like you were just wide open all the time, but you have to be that. When your tires are going to go away, you can make speed very quickly, but you're going to pay the price at the other end. I like the way that Cole Custer is going about this. He has a really fast race car, and we've got a whole other stage to go whenever they're going to give away the trophy and pay all the points.
Well, Barrett's lap currently 34th, a lap down. That's because a few laps ago, running 21st, and this is what we're talking about with patience. And it's just easy to do, right? He just gets a little high, and I don't know if he has an issue that causes him to get into the wall, or if he just got to the wall first. But either way, 31 had to come to pit road, and then the 2 run on the top. Dale's going to love that because he'd be the first guy to hit you if you pull up in front of him running the top right here. So that is basically the 2 run on the top, the 88 run on the bottom, slides up. No harm, no foul, but Creed giving him the old, hey man, I'm back here, buddy. So how about giving me a little space on corner exit? That's one of Sam Mayer, though, with 9 to go. We saw patience, back to that word again, earlier in the stage, first 5 or 8 laps. And I think if it would have gone green, maybe he had a better chance of paying off. I'm wondering if the cycle, the cooling off under the yellow, has helped some of the guys in front of him.
Mellon Racing has thrown the younger driver, Derek Kraus, behind the wheel, and he's out front. A lot of people are wondering, who's Derek Kraus? Well, he was the youngest driver to win in the ARCA Midwest Tour in its history back in 2016, and right now he's only 22, so you think back, he was 15 years old when he was able to get to victory lane there.
And that's a name I hear a lot when I walk through the Xfinity Series garage. Just when you hear a name that many times, you just wonder what it's going to look like next year. We'll see if he ends up in a full-time ride. But you were hearing a lot of whispers for opportunity for Kraus. We'll see if that pays off.
2017 Canon Pro Series West Rookie of the Year, West Champion in 2019. And now, with tire strategy, he's put the 11 out front with 7 laps to go here in this stage. Steve, is that a possibility of a winning strategy for this team if they could come off of pit road and hold this lead?
Well, the problem is, if it runs green in the final stage, it could be. But if there's any sort of caution in that final stage, they don't have that extra set of tires to put on. So that's going to be the problem. But can it end up being that way? It absolutely can.
Yeah, how about Kyle Seek here? Has driven himself with these new tires up to the 5th spot. Obviously, his brother Ryan been racing in this series a lot longer, but the first full season for Kyle Seek here, doing an outstanding job. Know that has to be a lot of fun to get out there and mix it up. And he went up there past Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, running up front obviously has to be way more fun than that Hornets list that they run in back from about 12th all the way to 28th. Allgaier has fallen back now to the 6th spot as Kyle Seek has passed him. But here comes Allgaier with a little bit of momentum. Now we see Parker Kligerman trying to get by Austin Hill here using that high line.
Yeah, they've been battling throughout this stage mostly, but certainly since the restart. You see Justin Allgaier there take that position back. What's going on with the 21, Dave?
Just okay, DJ, and this whole race has been about him finding his comfort level with that top lane. You see him slide back up there now behind Kligerman. This was radio just after, bump from Riley Herbst there. Listen to the end of this radio just after stage 1.
We're going to give up points when you do it because we're racing, not because we're driving off the fence and having to pay to change tires and going laps down and to try to figure it out. We don't need to get ourselves into stupid spots.
They tried it so many different ways to get into the high line, and it just wasn't working. DJ, as a driver, when you hear that, I think they're just saying to you, driver, where you feel comfortable, we'll try to make it better there.
Yeah, you appreciate that and the efforts that they're trying to tell him. But I'll say this in the driver's defense: if he needs to be up there, because I'm telling you, in stage 3, when it comes time to get everything that you possibly can and make a decent day out of this, you're gonna have to be up here against the wall. So you can't be adjusting your race car to run on the bottom as right now. You got to figure out what it takes for you to get up there and be competitive.
Cole Custer not able to complete the pass on John Hunter Nemechek. Nemechek holding on to that second spot. Again, the lap's winding down here in stage 2, less than 3 to go.
Well, if we talk about this patience, it's very easy to run out of that in a hurry here. You think your tires go away quickly? Your patience can go away a lot quicker than that.
And sliding up very tight there is Riley Herbst on the outside of that 45, and Leland Honeyman trying to make these tires work for him.
Yeah, so we talked about Derek Cross and what the guys are doing on the lead lap. Well, what Honeyman did is he came and got tires because he's now racing. He's in a tight battle with Ellis and Emerling for the free pass. So there is another whole race, and this lead lap can be the completely different maker for the race, right? This could be the difference in a good day or an average day. So right here, that 45, behind him on the top, that 43, that's Ryan Ellis. That is the battle for the free pass.
This is the final lap. As those drivers continuing to fight for that free pass position. But it's Derek Kraus with the fresh tires, and he's made them work. Derek Kraus in the 11. And he's going to hold on to claim his first ever stage win. It's going to happen here at the end of stage 2. There's a big wiggle there out of Custer. Kraus gets the win. Then it's John Hunter Nemechek and Cole Custer. Sam Mayer, all playoff drivers, grabbing some very important stage points, as does Paul Geyer.
Frankie Kerr's call for the new tires got Leland Honeyman in a free pass position, so the 45 will be back in the lead lap.
Stage 2 completes. It's Derek Kraus winning this stage. Now they'll come to pit road, back into the hands of the crew.
So there you have it. Part-time driver Derek Kraus in the Xfinity Series taking over the Stage 2 win. All on strategy. He came to pit road along with just a couple of other cars. And during that mid-stage caution period and in the final 20 laps was able to get to the lead and have a 1.2-second margin over John Hunter Nemechek. So Kraus steals a stage win away from Nemechek. Nemechek ends up second in the stage. Cole Custer third, so Custer not in front of the 20 anymore. Sam Mayer fourth, Justin Allgaier fifth, Parker Kligerman sixth, Kyle Sieg seventh, Riley Herbst eighth, Austin Hill ninth, and Daniel Hemrick 10th. Those were the finishing results, at least for the top 10 in stage 2, all receiving stage points there. Once again, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you guys have not done so yet. It is time for a Stage 2 diecast showing. As of, let me get the leaderboard back on there. There we go. All right, so Dale Earnhardt Jr. won in today's race. The only number 88 Dale Jr. diecast I actually have is this 2009 Coca-Cola 600 paint scheme. It is, of course, the only, again, Hendrick Dale Jr. car I have for a diecast, at least of the 1/24 scale. So here it is. Camouflage. The camo cars always look cool, in my personal opinion. National Guard colors for this one. Obviously, National Guard on Coca-Cola 600 Day. Pretty cool. Looks like it's got a 60th anniversary NASCAR logo on it, which I'm just now realizing. So that's also kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, 2009 Dale Jr. diecast. And here it is. With him running the Xfinity race today, had to have this. Ryan Newman, obviously, also in the field, too. I only got one Newman diecast, and I feel like I've shown it a couple times this year when he's ran a few Cup races with Rookie Racing this season. But here is this diecast for today. I mean, it's a basic paint scheme. It's all camo. But again, I just feel like camouflage looks cool. I mean, that's just me. Put on a race car, it looks even better. So we'll be having the second slate of pit stops coming up during the stage break. It'll be interesting to see who is going to win the race out of the pits there and begin stage 3 with the best track position. Race clicking by very quickly. This stage caution is only our third caution of the race in total. We've only had one for incident through these first 92 or so laps in the race today. We'll end the poll as well for who you think is going to win today's race. The fan vote says Cole Custer is going to win this one at 33% of the 70 votes. So again, Cole Custer getting 33% of the 70 votes. 26% of you say somebody other than Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, or Justin Allgaier will win. 23% for 23% for Nemechek, and then 16% for Allgaier. So that definitely was a very tight poll, pretty much from top to bottom there. But Cole Custer is your guys' fan vote to win the race today. You guys are 1 for 1 already today. Picking other for the Truck Series. We'll see if Custer wins the race. Leaders on pit road for the second time today.
A lot of speed on pit road here. Let's go down to pit stops.
For Sam Mayer, top left, he said, coming off the throttle, I just get too tight in the middle. The biggest problem, he actually got the wall just a little bit. Sam asked to be freed up. 2 numbers, you saw that chassis adjustment. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, Dave.
9 stage points for John Hunter Nemechek. Still 2 free, so he'll get a wedge adjustment, air pressure adjustment, and a cough drop. Marty.
Cough drop, Dave. Well, the last adjustment really helped Justin Allgaier, but he said it's only 75% of what we need. We still need more front turn. And for Cole Custer, 18 stage points in the bank for that team. Said it fired off better, but gets too tight running the wall. Keep freeing it up, and the pit crew deliver as well. How about that? Look at those top 2, Rick, gaining a bunch of spots here on these stops.
4 spots gained for Austin Hill as well on pit road, getting back into the top 5, it appears. Trying to get the raw feed back up on the leaderboard side of things for you guys. Clicked away for 1 second to end the poll in the chat, and I've not been able to get the raw feed back up. My laptop is very slow. It wasn't that slow during the truck race today, but I think running two streams back to back with how slow it has been running the last several weeks, I think that is making it even more slower here. But this is the last doubleheader of the season, so I shouldn't have to worry about this anymore the rest of the year. Xfinity and Cup Series only next week, and then it'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show at Phoenix for the Championship 4 finale for all 3 of those series as well. This will be available for you guys at some point. There we go. Now we've got it working. Kind of. There we go. Okay, now it's updated. Lab 94, just as we are in this race. Once the coverage comes back on, I'll let you guys listen into more of the actual race broadcast. I'm going to have to go let my dog outside and give her some food before she starts barking or decides to pee on the floor or something. I took her out in between races. She did not want to go because it was raining. I don't think it's raining right now, so there's a window of opportunity to be had there, just waiting for the race broadcast to come back first. So Cole Custer won the race off pit road. He'll get the restart in the lead. Justin Allgaier will be second. Hopefully I don't miss anything here, but you guys definitely will not be missing anything. Just over an hour into the start of this race. And here is some of the race coverage now as we're about halfway home.
Cup Series on NBC. It all starts with countdown to green at 2 o'clock, 2:30. The second race of the round of 8 for the Cup Series. Who's going to join Kyle Larson in the Championship 4. And it all gets wrapped up with NASCAR America Post Race at 6 o'clock. And that's streamed live on Peacock. Let's go to the Peacock pit box. All right, Jim, have all the right adjustments been made as it gets a little bit loud with those guys coming by you, but who looks like they could be the favorite coming to the checker today?
Well, to me so far, it's been a three-way battle between Russell, Nemechek, and Mayer. The question I've got is the last 4 races, 3 of those have been with late race restarts. So your car might be good on a long run, but if you get that late race caution, you better be able to take off of that. So we don't know who that is yet.
We don't know who that is because we've seen Mayer. The longer they run, he pulls back to the front. He's able to go. We look at Custer. We look at Nemechek. Those guys are pretty consistent. The 2 guys that have been working with the net so far is Justin Allgaier and Austin Hill. They fall like a rock. The only thing that saves them are the stages.
And you mentioned stages. Let's take a look at the stage points and who has gained those points today. So Cole Custer, 18, Nemechek 17, Mayer 16, Allgaier 11, Creed 7, and Hill 5. Field 2x2 as we get ready to start the final stage from Homestead-Miami. Custer and Allgaier, good pit stops. They're restarting up front. Allgaier on the inside trying to make the move early. Here comes Sam Mayer, the 1 as well. Allgaier drifted up the racetrack but doesn't have that double zero clear. Contact in the back. The 16's around. Two cars involved. One of them being that 16 of Chandler Smith.
Oh, Brett Moffitt having such a good day. Qualified up front, ran up front, scored some stage points, 6 on the day. Chandler Smith, you kind of said it, DJ, just wasn't the day. The 16 needed to kind of get back in this playoff picture. And this is going to, in my opinion, take them all the way to a must-win next week at Martinsville.
So much damage to the right front. In the front of this entire number 16. Take another look at what happens.
Yeah, they're 3 wide off the corner.
At least.
Oh, you see it looks like Krause. And is that 9 of Jones? Yeah.
Like he got loose and came down, didn't he?
Oh, here's a good look right here. So the 11. Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle, but it does look like the 9's coming down.
Off the wall.
And I can't believe he's just turning down on purpose.
Yeah,
So either he got loose or didn't realize there was 3 below them. This would be a great angle to see what happens to the 9. So you're looking at that black hood, yellow car. They almost just kind of get stuck together. Kind of just an odd situation. And isn't that how it always works? Those 2 get stuck together, and the 16 is the one that gets spit out of line.
The dominoes fall wrong here for Chandler Smith, playoff driver.
Yeah, look at that from that angle. You can't put that on the 9.
No, from that angle. Here's how it works. 4 wide for 10th just doesn't seem to. I mean, I'll be honest, when I watch these restarts, I can't believe this doesn't happen every time. But that last shot down the straightaway, I think the 9 was holding his line. I wonder if the middle car didn't maybe get surprised by somebody to his left and just move up. Not real sure. Marty.
Yeah, Rick, obviously Chandler Smith's vision a little bit hindered by the seat rest in there, but he said, what was the 11 his teammate, Eric Krause, thinking that he couldn't see the 9 was there as well? And now the point situation is going to go sideways here for Chandler Smith and his race team. They obviously have that right front damage you mentioned, Rick, but they also said they have a left front tire rub as well, so we're going to have to patch this up. It looks like they'll be in a must-win situation next week at Martinsville if they want to make the championship 4.
You know, coming into this race, Chandler Smith was only 15 points behind that cut line. And now, after all of this happening, as they're running, he's 48 points back. And very unfortunate situation there. Even after Noble Jack, the Smith family introducing their second son. That was on Thursday morning, but this is not the way he wanted this race to go.
So it looks like a caution following this most recent restart to begin Stage 3 has taken Chandler Smith out of the running in today's race. And it looks like Brett Moffitt also collected with some pretty severe damage in the incident, will more than likely not be able to continue as well. So that is the way things look right now. Unfortunately, Chandler Smith, the first playoff driver to retire from this race today, came in on the outside looking in as it was, had been running outside the top 10 for the full race up to this point, and now obviously going to put himself in a must-win situation at Martinsville for next week's round of 8 finale, which will be next Saturday afternoon. Cole Custer maintaining the race lead off the restart after winning the race off of pit road to get it back out in front, alongside with John Hunter Nemechek, who he was battling with for most of the day. Justin Allgaier still up in contention, as well as Sam Mayer, who's had a pretty quick car throughout the course of this race as well. Ethan Chua, thanks for tuning in. Matt Hunter, also welcome to the stream. John Punter. See what you did there. Up to 59 likes on the stream. We're about halfway through this race. Again, our goal is 100 likes on the stream today, so 100 likes is the goal. We will have full flag-to-flag coverage of tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series race at Homestead as well. .3:30 next Saturday is the Xfinity Series race, so that is when our coverage will begin there as well. Field has not quite got the one-to-go signal yet. So we are officially halfway home. 100 laps complete, 100 laps still to go. Showing John Hunter Nemechek right now. We were just talking about him. Driving full-time at Legacy Motor Club next season. A lot of young crop going into the Cup Series full-time next year. We talked about Hocevar making the jump after he won his truck race earlier today. He'll be running for Spire Motorsports full-time next season. Zane Smith, same thing. Spire Motorsport full-time next season. Carson Hocevar will be full-time next year. I just mentioned that. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek will be full-time next year at Legacy Motor Club. Has not had really much experience with the next-gen car compared to Hocevar or even Zane Smith for that matter this year. So it's going to be interesting to see Nemechek those first few races next year and how he adapts to a car that he doesn't have as much experience with compared to some of the other young drivers that are going to be racing alongside him in the Cup Series that he's raced with here in these lower series. Still going to work on Chandler Smith's race car. That team doing whatever they can to try to keep him in this race. I don't know that that's going to be able to continue, unfortunately. Definitely not at the pace or the speed he would have liked. Definitely more damage had to the 25 of Brett Moffitt's race car. I'd say more so than the 16 of Chandler Smith, but still pretty severe damage both ways anyway. Joe Mara, thanks for tuning in. Phone charged enough? Yeah, I definitely made sure I charged my phone up mid races. Just under 100 concurrent viewers watching. And we're up to 61 likes on the stream. Appreciate everybody that has hit that like button so far. Definitely be sure to do so again if you have not yet. Once again, if you have not hit like, definitely do so we can get to that goal of 100 likes before the end of this stream. Man, Josh Berry's really fallen in the running order quite a bit. He's back in the 24th place position. I miss a speeding penalty. Well, no. Well, it could have happened, I guess. Stepped away there from the broadcast for a couple laps and might have missed that. Whatever the case is, Berry's back at 24th now. He has been falling through the running order, though, quite a bit since really the start of the race. I didn't think he was going to fall necessarily that far back on his own. It's crazy to think that Josh Berry didn't even make it out of the first round of the playoffs, and you consider the fact he was in the championship 4 last season, but no wins this year. A big step back in performance for Berry this year compared to not only last season, but even the part-time ride he had at JRM the season before that. But we saw him get 2 wins. One in replacement for Michael Annett in the 1 car. Then he also had a win at Martinsville in the spring under his original part-time contract in the 8 at Junior Motorsport. Tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series live commentary stream will begin at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, 2:30 Eastern tomorrow on the channel. We'll have full flag-to-flag coverage of the Cup Series race at Homestead-Miami Speedway. As far as today's stream goes, we'll continue our coverage here as we are down to just 98 laps to go in the Contender Boats 300. About to go green this time by. Pace car pulling to pit road. And here we go. Custer and Allgaier on the front row this time. Custer on the outside. Allgaier down low on the bottom. Green flag back in the air. Pretty good push from Allgaier from his teammate Sam Mayer behind him. Nemechek also shoving the back of that 00 before getting into the first turn and letting go. Allgaier going to try to slide up, and he is clear of Cole Custer all the way up for Justin Allgaier to take over the race lead for the first time today. Drastic moves being made outside the top 10 there. Mayer down onto the bottom groove as he pulls to the inside of Cole Custer. Not going to be able to stay there by the exit of the corner. And, well, he did stay there, but he didn't go up to side draft right away, and he's going to actually duck in line behind him, so Custer is clear. Mayer probably wanted to make sure he was going to get up in line before the 20 had a chance to get to his outside. Nemechek cut to the bottom anyway into turns 1 and 2, but no chance of getting underneath Mayer that time. Mayer with a run now on Custer as he's going to look to try to take over the next position. Mayer on the outside. He's kind of stayed up there through most of the day, even on the restarts and the short runs where we tend to see more drivers take over the middle to bottom groove of the racetrack. Get 10, 15, 20 laps into the run. Plus is when you see pretty much everybody trying to run the wall at that point. But earlier in the tire stint, maybe not as much. Allgaier still controlling out in front of the field. Again, this is the first time he's led all day today, but he's in a very good spot, all things considered. And now his teammate Sam Mayer is going to take over second through 3 and 4 as he slides all the way up the groove. Custer, who is in the middle, is going to get back underneath him. We'll see if Cole Custer is going to be able to clear him before getting down into the next corner. It's going to be tough. But he does do it. Custer slamming the door shut. Doesn't go all the way to the bottom end of the corner. Mayer sliding around, getting the cut through the center of the corner to get back to the inside of Cole Custer. Side by side again for second place now on the back straightaway. Mayer to the inside this time. Custer chases him down the racetrack into 3. Mayer slides up, but the 00 is still there. And they're still side by side, despite the fact that they're running as close to each other as possible. Justin Allgaier is not pulling away from these 2 cars. Mayer and Custer's pace is right there. Both of them charge down towards the bottom of the racetrack. They both slide up behind Justin Allgaier. Custer wins the battle for now, and he's clear again for second. Custer, who has led the most laps by far in this race today, trying to get back to the lead on Justin Allgaier, but he's got his teammate, Allgaier's teammate that is, Sam Mayer, just breathing down his neck, not allowing for Custer to make it too much of a battle for the lead currently. Riley Herbst in 5th place, solid run for him after getting his first career win in the Xfinity Series in dominating fashion a week ago at Las Vegas. Staying right up there with Nemechek, and he's also only about 1.3 seconds off the race lead. Top 4 within 9/10 of a second at the start-finish line that last time by. It is a very close gap, really, between each of the top 4 or 5 cars in the field. One small mistake, and somebody's going to be there to capitalize and get perhaps a couple positions out of it. Herbst to the inside underneath Nemechek into 1 and 2. Got underneath him off turn 4, makes a bigger dive into that next corner. Clears him. Nemechek cuts all the way down to the bottom behind him. And Riley Herbst is up to 4th and charging now after the leaders. Can Herbst go back-to-back on back-to-back mile-and-a-half racetracks and back-to-back weeks? Custer, Mayer all the way up near the wall. Not a lot of room for error. A lane and a half below that was Justin Allgaier through 3 and 4. Big run for Custer. He's going to go for the lead into turn 1 with 90 to go. Custer to the inside. Slides up in front of Justin Allgaier and clear. Cole Custer back to the point at Homestead. Allgaier going to try to cut underneath him, but he doesn't have the speed capable of keeping up with Custer there. And Cole Custer is back into the lead at Homestead. After winning stage 1, leading a lot of laps in stage 2 up until Derek Kraus winning the stage on those fresher tires there towards the end. Custer has led 81 laps and counting in this race. The next closest is Kraus with 15 laps led. Allgaier was able to lead for about 8 laps there to begin this stage until Custer retakes the race lead at lap 90, or with 90 to go at lap 110. Mayer to second as he gets by Allgaier. He's not going to allow Custer to just reel away from him. Good pass made there. A clean one for Sam Mayer. Slid up. The 7 had no chance to get back underneath him. Mayer has looked like the strongest junior motorsport car throughout the course of the day, especially on the longer runs. And that seems to very much be the case here in the early going of stage 3 as he's staying right there with Custer every step of the way. 88 to go. Long time left in this race. At least one more pit stop guaranteed. Most of these crew members and teams still have about 2 sets of tires left. Very few of them have 1 set left to the very end. Derek Kraus obviously being one of those drivers that only has 1 set left. So if we get a couple of cautions for incident in this final stage, there will be multiple opportunities to pit for 4 fresh tires. Mayer got by Allgaier, but now all of a sudden Cole Custer's starting to put a gap on the 2 JRM cars behind him again. The last lap, Cole Custer was nearly half a second quicker than Sam Mayer, so I don't know what happened to Mayer, if he maybe had to lift to keep it off the wall a little extra or what the case was, but he lost some ground. Current cutoff line battle as of this point in the race has Sam Mayer 5 points below the cutoff line on Austin Hill. Currently Hill is 6th in the running order, obviously Mayer in 2nd now. Justin Allgaier is plus 16 points sitting in 3rd and plus 46 for Nemechek. If Custer wins, he would advance. He came into the day plus 15. He has scored the most stage points of any driver in the race today. So, that being said, even if he fell out of the lead, he'd be in a pretty comfortable spot above that line. Sammy Smith minus 45, Sheldon Creed minus 47, and Chandler Smith minus 51 after his incident. All probably in must-win situations at Martinsville if they can't come back from their deficit now. Dale Jr. has cracked the top 10 for the first time today, by the way. He was up to the 9th place position on the leaderboard, and right behind him is Sheldon Creed, who was up inside the top 5 earlier in the race. Remember, he finished 4th at the end of stage 1, but then some reason in stage 2 fell all the way back to 15th. Never really ran better than that. And now it's starting to move forward again as he's back in the top 10 to 10. So, not sure if maybe they just went the wrong way in an adjustment during that stage 1 break and moved it back to the way it was for the second stage, but definitely looking better in stage 3 than what he did in stage 2. Not quite as quick as what he was in stage 1, but we are still very much early into this green flag run at just over 15 laps. Dale Jr. also looking to pick up another spot, battling Parker Kligerman for 8th. Got to the inside but couldn't clear the 48 car. He'll try it again in turns 1 and 2. Dale Jr. moving forward on that bottom lane. He's all clear. Sammy Smith is right there in front of him for 7th as well. So Dale Jr. having a pretty solid run here after a fairly slow start. He had been outside the top 10 all day today, but consistently right around 15th is now propelled forward quite a bit during this run. 15 spots gained for Dale Jr. from the very start of the race is still the most spots gained of any driver on the day. 29 cars are on the lead lap still. By the way, with that last caution that ended up coming out, the free pass ended up being given to Ryan Ellis. So Ellis got back on the lead lap, virtue of that last caution with Chandler Smith and Brett Moffitt. Just over an hour and a half now into the Contender Boats 300. And as they go to commercial break, Dale Jr. going to pass Sammy Smith for 7th on the racetrack. That last lap, I mean, Dale Jr. was faster than Austin Hill in 6th as well, and equally as fast as John Hunter Nemechek in 5th. So Dale Jr.'s got top 5 speed. We'll see how many more spots he can gain before we get into green flag pit stops in the middle going to the stage. Riley Herbst passing Justin Allgaier for 3rd. Allgaier well off the pace on the backstretch. As he cuts to the bottom lane of the racetrack, John Hunter Nemechek with a big source of momentum. And Allgaier is very slow, and he is coming onto pit road. I'm not sure if this is a scheduled stop or not, but Justin Allgaier onto pit road. 39 of Ryan Sieg has some smoke pouring out of the back of his car. We continue to stay green. Some sparks now from underneath the 39. Hopefully we don't get a caution here. Allgaier in the pits already. This could hurt. Well, that's going to move Dale Jr. up to 6th. Not sure, again, if this is a scheduled stop or not. You guys will get to listen in when they come back from the commercial break. Looks like a right front tire is down on the 39. So that is why the car was starting to spark. It was bottoming out because the right front was going down, or was down. Sieg has made it to pit road. No debris on the racetrack. And again, we stay green. Cole Custer's race lead is out to 2.5 seconds over Sam Mayer once again. Riley Herbst is in 3rd. John Hunter Nemechek 4th. Austin Hill 5th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 6th. Sammy Smith 7th. Sheldon Creed 8th. Daniel Hemrick 9th. And Parker Kligerman is 10th. That is the top 10. Allgaier back out on the racetrack after 4 fresh tires have been placed on the race car. And maybe he's going to try a 2-stop strategy in this final stage. Maybe that's why they short pitted. Try to get some time back. Because by pitting now, definitely outside the fuel window to make it to the end. So maybe a 2-stop strategy going to be had here for Allgaier. I think it's only going to work if they can go green to the end of the race. A bold strategy call, to say the least, when you're only 16 points above the cutoff line. Based off of where he was running when he was in 3rd, let alone now he is obviously a lap down in 28th. Maybe dealing with a slight vibration, I don't know. About to find out. Parker Kligerman is down onto pit road as well from 10th place. So again, still outside the fuel window to make it to the end, but we have multiple cars coming into the pits. Kligerman looks like he's got some body damage to the right side. He might have gotten up into the wall, so that might be why he is on pit road. Let's listen in.
78 laps to go here, and for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, you saw it all in nonstop. Justin Allgaier eventually did have to come to pit road, and there was the culprit. The left rear tire was indeed loose. Steve, that's your clear indicator right there. So what's the path forward now for the 17? Justin Allgaier and his crew chief Jim Pullman.
Well, the good news is currently he's in the free pass or just unlapping himself. I'm trying to find him exactly on the racetrack. I think he's going to be in the free pass position. He's going so fast. Yeah, he's the first car 1 lap down. He's passing cars inside the top 10. With fresh tires, he should unlap himself in about 6 or 7 laps. So my plan now is I have to decide, am I trying to stop the bleeding or am I trying to win the race? Because if you stop the bleeding, what you do is you just run until you're about out of gas and sit at that point and hope you get a yellow. Now, if you're in Vegas and you're going to put all your chips on the table, I wouldn't wait till the next caution. The other option is you get about 35 or 40 to go, and I put my last set of tires on and lean back and say, you know what, I'm going to break this up in thirds, and that math says I should win this race. But there's a lot of chances. Jim Pullman knows this as well as anyone on pit road. He knows that a yellow would end his day. I like the idea of running to the next yellow. He doesn't need a win. He came in above the cut line. He's only 8 below even in this awful position. So I think this is the time where maybe a little discretion is... It was never my strong suit as I say that, but a little discretion would be the way to go for the 7.
This is a team mistake, and you want to limit the amount of problems that come from this mistake. So don't compound them. Just fix the issue Now, don't make it worse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the other issue is he asked 4 or 5 times, and they were sure they were tight. So I'm not saying they're lying. I'm confident they thought they were tight. So whatever they're looking at for video or looking at for data is not giving them a clear view because the wheel was clearly loose. That can't be solved here today. But with what's on the line the next 2 weeks, that's a conversation, DJ, we're going to have this week.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I believe you, but why possibly did we have a loose wheel and not know it?
Yeah, and the biggest problem I see now, I'm with you with the 2 stops. I think go after the win, but here's the problem. At least 3/4 of this field, probably 80% of the field now, is up against the wall. We're seeing more cars have contact, and eventually that's going to create a caution flag here.
It really is. So now it's the 7 Newties passing the 98, who's the 3rd place car. Sam Mayer, a couple seconds ahead, about 5 seconds up all the way to Cole Custer, who's leading the race. So all the 7 can do now is go as hard as he can go. But once you get in front of the 00, I might almost back you down a little bit and say, okay, whoa. You've done what we needed to do. Now I want you to run hard enough to keep that guy behind you.
Yeah.
That's all I need you to do.
And he's a second faster right now than what Cole Custer, the leader of the race, is running. So it's not going to take him long to get there.
While all this was happening, the 48 of Parker Kligerman also got into the wall. He had to come to pit road. You see the damage on the right side of the 48 here.
He was getting a run at the top. Behind Dale Jr. gets a little loose. Oh. Yeah, just got into the wall a little bit. It looks like the right rear's down. I'm not sure if he got into the wall or just had a flat.
Ryan Sieg in the 39. Another one who wall got him here.
Yeah, well, he's a flat already.
Out, yeah,
he is a flat tire already. So you can only get to the wall so much and probably wear through everything that's holding the tires off the wall.
Is he to that point, the 48 of Parker Kligerman, the run before had a right rear that showed damage but no loss of air. This run, damage and lots of air. So like you said, you can only hit it so many times. You just have to take care of not only the body, but the right rear of that car. Remember, he said he didn't know quite how to race these cars versus a truck or a cup car. I think he's learned some lessons today.
Absolutely, David. That's exactly what you're talking about, Dale, right? Every car here has a right side with 129 laps worth of use. Which, you know, they've kind of used some mulligans up. On Moore Jr., he's really settled in here. He is rolling.
This is exactly playing out kind of how we took. Now, I realize that people have had problems in front of him, but we talked about before this race started, you get him with more comfortable into this 3rd stage. You have some long green flag runs. It can make a difference in this race.
You're looking out the right side window, if it looks two-tone, that's not your TV at home. It is two-tone. That is some tint. You're allowed to run on the top here because as you roll down in, right here he's in 3 and 4. Sun's not really an issue. As he comes down the front stretch, you know, if the sun gets low enough, it can kind of glare in that right side. And when you're only, I'll be nice and say 1 foot, I think it's probably in the inches off that wall. Right there, you see that kind of that glare. If you lose that tint, it really shines into the race car. He's got the dark shield on, you see on the bottom right.
Well, this is when the sun's going to be at its worst for them as they go from turn 4 to turn 1. Again, Dale Jr. fighting his way up. He's going to be trying to get into that top 5. And there is out of turn 4, looking forward. A little bit of glare on the windshield there for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, right there as you enter turn 1, that's where it really jumps up at you. Fortunately, they put some grandstands and suites down there, and the sun does get down behind there, so it doesn't last as long as what it used to.
Marty, is the 7 going to try a little new strategy now that they had to go to those different tires?
Doing all he can do right now. But see, he just came on the radio to Jim Coleman a moment ago, and he said, I think I killed the threads on the left rear wheel. We ran it too long with a loose wheel, and Coleman said, I was afraid of that. So what does all that mean, Steve?
Well, what happens is you showed the damage to the wheel. Well, what's doing that damage is the wheel stud, and that's where the threads are. Remember, these lug nuts are tapered. Unlike a regular nut that would tighten up against the bolt like a nut you would have at home, it would be kind of flush. But the taper means that the tip of that lug nut goes where that wheel is, kind of into that insert. So where that wheel was banging on those wheel studs has mushroomed those threads over. So now, you tighten the lug nut all you want, but it actually just tightens against the messed up threads. It doesn't clamp the wheel tight enough. That was my concern when you ride that long on a loose wheel. We'll have to just wait and see, as he looks like he's about ready to unlap himself on the 0-0 right here. But Marty, that's really going to be the issue, right? Damage on those wheel studs. If they can get them tight, that's great, but it's going to take longer pit stops.
And Steve, he came on the radio just a moment ago while you were doing that report and said, honestly, it's no better than it was before. So, DJ, what's that like behind the wheel?
Well, you know, once you have that problem, you know what the end result is going to eventually be. So it's very uncomfortable as a driver. But, you know, you've got what you've got right now. So all you can do is just drive it and hope somehow it all stays together.
He felt the loose wheel. They came to pit road. It was definitely a loose wheel. Now he's riding.
So we are down now to 66 laps to go in today's race. We'll go through the full field running order right now. Cole Custer currently out in front by 3.7 seconds over Sam Mayer in second. Riley Herbst is in third. John Hunter Nemechek in fourth. Austin Hill in fifth. Sheldon Creed sixth. Dale Jr. in seventh. Daniel Hemrick in eighth. Sammy Smith ninth. Kaz Grala is 10th. Derek Kraus in 11th. Brandon Jones in 12th. Parker Retzlaff in 13th. Josh Berry 14th. Joe Graff Jr. 15th. Jeff Burton in 16th. Connor Mosack 17th. Ryan Ellison 18th. Josh Williams 19th. Justin Allgaier is in 20th. Kyle Weatherman is 21st. Jeremy Clements is in 22nd. 23rd is Leland Honeyman. Jeffrey Earnhardt in 24th. Brendan Poole 25th. 26th is Patrick Emerly. Parker Kligerman 27th. 28th is Ryan Sieg. Anthony Alfredo 29th. Kyle Sieg is 30th. 31st is Mason Massey. Blaine Perkins 32nd. Chandler Smith in 33rd. Still in the race, but is 3 laps down. 34th place is Mason Maggio. Brett Moffitt 35th. Dawson Cram 36th. CJ McLaughlin 37th. And Ryan Newman 38th. Looks as if we have 4 cars out of the race. If Maggio is out and the 29 car as well as he's now 9 laps down, then that would be 5 cars out of the race. Everybody still has to hit pit road one more time at least. They all have 2 sets of tires, so if we do get any late cautions in this one, we may still see multiple pit stops, but at least one more still guaranteed for fuel purposes, as well as obviously the tire wears. We've seen a ton of fall off today, about 4 seconds of fall off over the course of a 30 to 35 lap run. 19 car, Joe Graff Jr. is down onto pit road right now during the side-by-side NASCAR nonstop commercial break. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of others pit fairly soon as we are getting to within that fuel window, or at least closer to it. We'll take a quick ad break here, and then we'll continue our live commentary coverage. You're listening live to the Contender Boats 300 at Homestead-Miami Speedway for this NASCAR Xfinity Series live commentary coverage on KRC. Cole Custer still out in front by 3.5 seconds over Sam Mayer. A lot more cars coming onto pit road now. Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, both the RCR cars are in. Trying to gain an advantage right now, pitting very early in the run.
Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, where we have stops under green flag conditions. Sheldon Creed, top of your board, said no rear lateral red feet, an adjustment on that. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel as well as an adjustment, Dave.
And for Austin Hill, his team is done with the service. He's prescribed his car mainly tight on throttle. Don't want to be any tighter entry or to the middle. He's on pit road.
A lot of the other race leaders still on the track, though Riley Herbst and John Hunter Nemechek are making their way onto pit road now. Dale Jr. also in.
Making his stop, you saw that adjustment. He said he just needed more front turn on that machine. What a great run after a win last week for Riley Herbst, Dave.
According to John Hunter Nemechek, he needs lateral grip, rear drive. They'll make a 4 Goodyear tire change for him and adjustments there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the left. He's on pit road. He said, no grip. I don't know what to do there. They'll make some changes. See if it works, Marty.
Dave, we have talked about the patience Cole Custer has shown today. He has led 108 laps. This could be his race to advance to the championship 4. A car having a problem on the racetrack. One car blowing up. I believe that's Chandler Smith coming to pit road now. But he got to the wall and was willing to run it. He said he just needs a little bit more turn. They've been the dominant car, and the pit crew's been terrific. Can they deliver on what should be the last stop, Dave?
So far for Sammy Smith today, it's been tough as he leaves pit road now. They've made changes to the 18. Oh, no, he's coming in right now. So the 4 Goodyear tires he will get will hopefully change that car. This rookie has not had a good day in terms of stage point. He has not earned any. Remember, he came into the deficit. He's making Martinsville look like a must-win next week.
Hard left-hand turn for the 16 of Chandler Smith. He's behind the wall now, so out of this race it looks like for the 16 as Ellis and Sammy Smith. And on the access road as they exit pit road. And back up to speed down at the back stretch. The 9, Brandon Jones, Parker Retzloff also on pit road now. The green flag pit stops taking place now. It's 2 and 21. Again, those fresh tires, those two fighting for spots on the track. Derek Kraus back out front again as the green flag pit stops continue to cycle through.
A little earlier than I anticipated. The leaders only had about 40 laps on their tires. They're pitting with 60 to go, and I know that's been the signature. As we see now, fans grown up to 26 with some heavy snow out in the left front. Maybe tires smoke, not best I can tell. I see some pretty heavy damage on the left front. Might have just been rubbing that fender, but they're going to ask this last set of tires to go quite a ways. Let's see what happened on the 26 here. Pulls out. Oh boy!
Oh, he hit the wall.
It's his own tire. It's his own tire that came off, and might be was going to be probably a penalty anyway. Knocked his tire out into pit lane. So now you have Kraus, who remember he used that extra set of tires. He's leading the race. Josh Berry just out running longer, which I don't hate this call for Josh Berry, looking for a caution because then he can come and put his last set on and be fresher. Allgaier, who had that vibration, running third. Custer on brand new tires, fourth. Mayer, Hill, Creed, and Nemechek the top 8. So what I was saying, DJ, is 60 laps on a set of tires here, they are not going to be fun the last 20 laps or so.
No, they're not. But, in a perfect world for Justin Allgaier right now, a caution, I mean, the other guys would have to come get their final set of tires too, wouldn't they?
If they don't, then Allgaier's just going to drive right to the front. So,
He's on pit road, Marty.
Yeah, Josh Berry coming down pit road. So, Steve, I'm curious, how long was this run for Josh Berry? Because they wanted to leave him out a few more laps, and he literally told Taylor Moyer, I can go no further. I have to come in right now. It feels like there is zero rubber left on the right front of this tire. So that run for Josh Berry might have been the limit to the point of asking all these laps for these last set of tires. Josh Berry may have just pushed that to the end.
Well, 43 green is the answer. They ran over 50 total, but some of those were under yellow. So 43 green flag laps, and he said he had to have tires. What that tells me is maybe the plan for the leaders like Custer is with 25 to go, they'll just pit again under green. I mean, they can make it on fuel, but it'll be interesting. It takes about 32 seconds to pit once a pit stop. So if you put about 12 seconds on pit road, call it 13. You're looking at 45 seconds. Man, you'd have to. I know new tires are worth a couple, 3 seconds a lap. But, man, you would have to have a really impressive run to run those guys back down. Now, you would feel like Superman out there on new tires.
Yeah, we've seen that out of the fresher tires. We saw that out of Derek Kraus winning stage 2 as they're 3 wide here. Sheldon Creed on the outside as we see John Hunter Nemechek go by.
Yeah, Creed had just passed him. I don't know if John Hunter had a problem. I just saw the pass being made. Now, John Hunter, they were 3 wide there with Riley Herbst on the bottom.
So Kraus on the top left has his set of tires down. Custer is the correct leader, real leader, pit cycle leader. Third, Sam Mayer at 4.7 seconds back is really the next car that's equal up on tires. Marty, what are you hearing on pit road?
Steve, did you say 44 laps for Josh Berry? This is the right front tire, and he wasn't kidding. There's almost no rubber left on that right front tire, so dissect what happened there on the right front of the 8 seed.
So what happens if we stay here for just a second? What happens is it wears through kind of over here, and then what happens is the belts are kind of wrapped around the tire just like a ball of yarn, and as soon as it wears through the rubber, it catches one of those belts. That's the unwinding you see across. It's literally tearing the string out from underneath the rubber. That's what gives it those horizontal lines around the tire. So I can tell you the problem, what's on the other side of all of that is air.
Yeah.
So you don't want to let the air out.
So now after green flag pit stops have cycled through, It's Cole Custer and Sam Mayer running 1 and 2. The two of them are separated by 3.5 seconds. Slow stop for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He was running up close to the 5th position. Now he's back in 10th. That still has Kraus out in front of him, who we know that Derek Kraus will have to come to pit road here shortly. Cole Custer increasing his lead, 4.7 seconds now over Sam Mayer. Allgaier, and with that strategy, he's currently running in the top 5. He's 4th.
Yeah, he just needs that caution right now, really. He doesn't want to go hardly any further, because that would drag everybody to pit road, and he's sitting here in 4th.
Moments ago, the 7 up into the wall. Again, he thinks he has an issue as far as those lug nuts, Steve, not tightening enough to give him a comfortable feeling with that wheel.
Yeah, I mean, basically they rode so long on the loose left rear, now there's damage. It doesn't allow it to really be tightened up. Let's listen in to Allgaier.
Middle of the seat, I'm 6 inches off the wall, bro.
Cole Custer has a problem. He's slow on the racetrack as he goes across the finish line.
Right front tire flat, Rick, that's what he just said. So right front tire flat for the dominant car today had led 114 laps for Cole Custer. And the problem is it happened coming off turn 4. He's going to limp all the way around the racetrack.
And the problem is, I can't tell you if he got into the wall or didn't get into the wall. They've hit the wall so many times. I know he has at some point. I'm not sure if that's what caused this. Let's take a look. He goes in. It looks like it's up. It looks like it's at speed like normal. I mean, I don't know what happened first. We definitely saw some wall contact, so we'll have to just hear what the 00 has to say. But now to Marty's point, as he goes around at this speed, all of the sparks, everything you see, I know there's an interliner. He's dragging the sway bar arm off, the right front splitter off. This 00 is going to be a world of trouble, even if he does get back to pit road.
He's on pit road, and watch the points go away from Cole Custer. As they run, now he's only 1 point above the cut line and now below the cut line. Those 18 points that he was able to gain in the first 2 stages, huge right now, Marty.
Oh my goodness, Rick, the win was so close for the 00 team. They looked like they would lock into the championship four, but you gotta run all 200 laps. That right front gone for Cole Custer, and now they'll go into Martinsville, likely in a must-win scenario. Check that right front coming off the 00 car here. So these new tires will help Steve, but man, those points slipping away every moment here for the 00.
Yeah, it really just depends on what everyone else does in the race. Remember, he was one of the drivers coming in that was just barely above the cut line. 15 points, I guess, depends on which side you're on. If it's barely or a good area, we'll see he's going to lose points here. But now, who wins the race? Do we see a new winner? -7 right now, which is good news for Custer because he's about 20th on the racetrack.
But how do these leaders, Sam Mayer, how did he and his team, Austin Hill is right there, Nemechek, Sheldon Creek, how did they go about this and trying to get that many laps out of their tires? I don't see it happen.
No, I don't either. I think you're going to have to pit with 15 or 20 laps to go, or you might be the caution. The 7 has finally said he had to come in, whether it's worn out tires or a vibration on the left rear. We'll have to get an update. Now the 00 also has a penalty for too many men over the wall. Marty.
Yeah, the insult to injury for Cole Custer. They'll have to serve that penalty. Jim Pullman did not want to make this move to pit for Justin Allgaier because he wanted a set of tires later in the race. Allgaier said, I simply cannot go any longer. So Allgaier pitting from the top 5 after having maybe his best ever Miami race. And there's Cole Custer, the dominant car, serving his penalty. What a swing of events here in Stage 3, Rick.
Yeah, race leader Cole Custer, right front goes down. They come to pit road, too many men over the wall. And so now, Cole Custer serving the penalty. Allgaier has come back to pit road. They've got an issue with the wheel, not feeling like it is completely secure. So that puts Sam Mayer out in front. And the other playoff driver who's currently out of this race is Chandler Smith.
Rick, he had a banged-up race car with the front end that didn't look right. Did you eventually just overheat that motor?
I just noticed I started smelling some oil. And looking at my oil pressure gauge, was losing a little bit of oil. And it kind of plateaued a little bit there. I was thinking it was going to be okay. Then out of nowhere, it just started blowing out. So, sucks. I hate it for my guys. I I hate when guys say partially it's my fault for not doing a good job of qualifying as far back as we did, kind of stayed there. I'm definitely pretty pissed off between the 11 and 9. I don't know if it was a racing deal. Looking at the replays, looks like they both kind of screwed up, and I was the collateral damage of it both. So sucks to say the least. But I'm gonna watch this as a race fan for the rest of the race. And I hope Junebug goes and wins this thing. To be honest with you.
There's one for Junior. There's the wreck again that started the day for Chandler Smith going bad. And as he said at the end, the motor just gave way. A lot of people, Rick, saying next week, I got to win at Martinsville to advance. One of them, Chandler Smith.
Yeah, and the reason he wants Junior to win is because he wouldn't lock up one of those championship 4 spots that he wants to be a part of. Sam Mayer is out front right now.
42 laps to go. Sam Mayer leads this race. Austin Hill is currently in second. Third place is Riley Herbst. John Hunter Nemechek in fourth. Sheldon Creed fifth. Daniel Hemrick in sixth. Sammy Smith seventh. Dale Earnhardt Jr. eighth. Parker Kligerman ninth. And Brandon Jones is 10th. Parker Retzlaff in 11th. 12th place is Joe Graff Jr. Josh Berry 13th. Jim Burton's the last car on the lead lap at 14th. Derek Kraus 15th. Ryan Sieg 16th. Justin Allgaier 17th. Josh Williams 18th. Jeffrey Earnhardt 19th. Jeremy Clements is 20th. Leland Honeyman in 21st. Brendan Poole 22nd. 23rd is Cole Custer. Ryan Ellison 24th. Patrick Emerling 25th. 26th is Kyle Weatherman. Kyle Sieg 27th. 28th, Anthony Alfredo. Mason Massey 29th. Connor Mosack 30th. Blaine Perkins 31st. Kaz Gralla 32nd. Mason Maggio 33rd. Scroll down the screen a little bit here. 34th place is Chandler Smith out of the races. You just heard from him. Brett Moffitt 35th. Dawson Cram 36th. CJ McLaughlin 37th. And Ryan Newman 38th place. Cole Custer has led 115 laps of the race today. He won stage 1. He finished third in stage 2. Dominant car. Blown right front tire. Contact with the wall in turns 3 and 4, as you heard from moments ago. Similar amount of time that Justin Allgaier pulled the pit road. He's been battling issues with a loose wheel on that left rear, so unfortunately with that being worn out, hopefully his tires that he has on now makes it to the end as he is on his final set. So even if we were to get a caution, he would not be able to put fresh tires back on the race car the rest of the way. As far as the rest of the field goes, a lot of them can make it on fuel to the end, but the question mark is going to be is can anybody make it on tires to the end of the race as they pit within the fuel window, but again, still going to have to go over 60 laps, or right around 60 laps on these tires to the end of the race. Austin Hill is 3.3 seconds behind Sam Mayer as of right now. Mayer was 0.3 quicker than Hill that last lap, so Mayer doing well for himself right now. Just got to not make a mistake, hope the tires hold up, and hopefully you have a clean final pit stop if you end up pitting somewhere around there. Parker Kligerman is on pit road right now from 12th place, it looks like. So Kligerman going to short pit with about 38 laps to go. We'll see how many more of the lead lap cars will now come in after that. Looks like only the top 6 cars within, or top 5 cars within about 6 seconds of the leader. 6th place Daniel Hemrick is nearly 12 seconds off the race lead. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is all going to wrap itself up. And we have one more pit stop. And we saw a lot happen with playoff drivers already in this final stage. Chandler Smith having the wreck and then the engine failure. Sam Mayer is leading right now, but of course we had Justin Allgaier having loose wheel problems. Cole Custer from the lead blows the right front. And we are actually under caution right now for the 5th time today, which will bring a lot of these cars onto pit road as there is a tire on pit road. A tire is rolled away from somebody's pit box, is rolled up against the outside wall on pit lane. So that puts us under a caution with 37 laps to go.
From the teams that pitted so early, I think everybody has to come now. Unfortunately for Allgaier, who I think put his last set of tires on. Now the good news is he'll be able to stay out and take the wave around. But now he's in a kind of a world of hurt. He really needs this to run through for a cycle.
Cole Custer also was trapped the lap down. There were only 13 cars on the lead lap when this caution came out.
But you remember what really makes it worse for Custer is he put on a set of tires and then ran a flat. So he's out of tires. He's going to have to take the wave around.
Crowd having fun here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Again, there'll be 2 races remaining for the Xfinity Series at the checkered flag today. Sam Mayer's out front trying to lock up a spot at the Championship 4. A win automatically gets you into that Championship 4.
We talk a lot about saving tires, so you really want to hear a Hail Mary. A Hail Mary for someone like Brendan Jones, who's running 9th, is to not pit here. 36 laps to go. You're absolutely going to be the last car in the lead lap, probably last down if you don't get another yellow. But if you run 15 laps and get a yellow, you're the only car in Homestead-Miami with a set of tires. You'll win the race. I mean, you literally will. It'll be just like Garrett Krause did that stage. You'll drive by everybody like you're the fastest thing here. So you look at non-playoff cars is what I mean. So you look at Jones or Brary, Joe Graff Jr., maybe Jeff Burton tries to steal a win. Now look, the risk is real. This is an all or nothing move. If you don't pit, you're going to look silly because you're going to be in big trouble if you don't get a yellow. But if you get a yellow, pay dirt.
Why wouldn't Sammy Smith try that? He's not in contention. He's so many points behind. Why would they not try that strategy?
I don't hate that because at 43 points behind, there's only so many more he can currently make up. And staying on the racetrack would put maybe Custer and Allgaier with a chance to recover as much. So that could also trap a guy playing a little offense while you're playing defense. Marty.
Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer will both take the wave around here. Cole Custer really still upset with him about what happened. Listen to the radio.
First time I hit the freaking wall all day. Sorry, guys. We love you. Still love you. We're going back to the future. It's going to be okay.
And then, Steve, to make it even worse, Jonathan told me on your screen right now, that was him with too many men over the wall. He went to catch that flat tire, that right front that went flat. He went over the wall accidentally, and that's why they got that penalty after hitting the wall.
Man, that is just too bad. The extra penalty really put him behind. Now we see the leaders come in. There you go. Sheldon Creed turns right, stays on the racetrack. A big gamble by the 2 car. I don't hate it. Kim.
Yeah, and there was a great debate between he and crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz. They're making out a late caution. Let's follow the sound though of Sam Mayer. Samson, you just got a tick free during that run. About a 2 out of 10 free, 4 fresh Goodyear tires. No go fuel, Dave.
Austin Hill stated the obvious. Best it's been all day long. He said I could be a little bit tighter on throttle so I could squeeze it in the 3/4 mark. John Nemechek said I was having to turn right on exit of corner. That right rear is not in the track as I'll do the race off pit road here.
And so they race off of pit road, those that came. How about the 2 of Sheldon Creed? Let's listen into his radio.
We're going to take a big gamble here. It could not work out if we could go one down, but I think it's their only chance to win the day.
I love it. Let's go to Vegas. Push them all on the table. But what this also does is I love the theory. They're currently well below the cut line. They were 40 points below. Now they're going to be shown as the leader. But they were well below. They were closing in on a must-win. They really didn't have speed to go outrun the 1. But what this also does is staying on the racetrack is if we let this field go by, behind them on the racetrack, the 7 of Allgaier, the 00. They can't take the wave around now because a lead lap car stayed out in front of them. So good move for the 2. Also playing a little defense on your other playoff competitors.
Only 14 on the lead lap.
What causes?
So there you have it, 14 cars on the lead lap coming up to this next restart, which could be the final one of the day. If not, Sheldon Creed will be in the driver's seat to try to win this race on pit strategy. It was a pit strategy call which allowed for Ben Rhodes in the truck race earlier today to get into the championship 4. Could that be the same said for Sheldon Creed in this 2-team today by getting a win? We'll have to wait and find out. Sam Mayer did win the race off pit road. Still going to have to obviously play a little bit of defense on this restart with John Nemechek, Sammy Smith going to be lining up right around him in the running order. Austin Hill, Riley Herbst obviously as well. Pretty quick stop there for Dale Jr. moving up a couple in the running order as he was 5th off of pit road. Creed was the only lead lap car that stayed out on the racetrack. No playoff or non-playoff drivers ended up staying out on the track there. So with that being said, we will see if this works out for Sheldon Creed. He's obviously going to be the slowest car on the racetrack right now. And the risk you pay is if you don't get the caution within probably a half a dozen, I wouldn't say half a dozen, I'd probably say a dozen laps, maybe a little over a dozen laps, 15 laps or so, then you're probably going to lose your lap by then because you're going to be a few seconds slower per lap. You also got to hope you don't get ran over by anybody from behind because you don't want to be the caution. You want the caution to happen somewhere else if you're going to have a shot to win this race. Seen a couple of wild race starts already today, and I'd be shocked if we end up seeing another wild one coming up right here. They've been fanning out the 3 and 4 wide a lot between the Truck Series race earlier today and this Xfinity race as well today. A lot of 3 and 4 wide racing getting into that first turn on these restarts. Easy Network, thanks for tuning in. Daniel Powers, Twin Cities Oxygen. Jayana Kelly, thanks for tuning in. TJ spotting for Junior today. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not even sure who spotted for him when he was at Bristol. I'd imagine whoever it was that day, it's probably the same today as well. Appreciate everybody tuning in here this afternoon. We're at 70 likes on the stream. Our goal is 100 likes. Make that 71. Thank you for whoever just hit the like button. 71 likes on the stream right now. That means we're 29 away from our goal of 100. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys have not done so yet. Also, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. About 69% of viewers over the last month on the channel are not subscribed. Appreciate you guys tuning in to these live commentary streams and even the streams during the week as well. But if you are not subscribed, please do so. Helps the channel out a ton. Helps me out a ton on the road to becoming a commentator in the real realms of NASCAR, hopefully down the line. That's why I started this YouTube channel to begin with. Started on the video game side of things with doing realistic commentary. Still do that, but still obviously getting into these live commentary streams. This is the first year we've been doing live commentary for all 3 series throughout the course of the year. Had a lot of fun breaking down every race and every series for you guys this season, and we'll continue to do that onwards into next year as well. So definitely be sure to, again, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a ton there, and hit that like button as well. As far as the actual race itself goes, this has been an interesting one so far developing. We've had a lot of troubles in this final stage with quite a few drivers in the running order that were in contention for the win. Justin Allgaier, who was pretty much top 3 or 4 all day, loose wheel problems. He's a lap down for this next restart. Cole Custer, same thing. He's a lap down on this next restart. Also having problems with that right front the first time he got into the wall, followed by an over the wall too soon penalty. So that definitely hurt. We'll see who's all going to have a chance to get in here. David Conley, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your comment as well. And, yeah, we're about to go racing. We're down to 30 to go on the restart officially. When they catch the green flag, they've already gotten the 1 to go signal. We're about to get back to racing. Sheldon Creed will be the leader on the restart. On older tires, too, that is worth mentioning. Not only for the race sake of it, but also in this restart, whoever's going to be lined up in line behind him is going to get stacked up and probably lose a couple positions here initially as well. And it looks like the first car on the outside behind Sheldon Creed is going to be Riley Herbst in the 98, and then Dale Jr. in the 88 behind him. Sam Mayer will be on the inside of row 1, Austin Hill behind the 1 car. So again, 30 laps to go. Creed's hoping this runs probably at least 5 or 6 laps, if not more, and then get a caution, and he'll end up pitting. Not many cars on the lead lap. We'll see if he can get back into it. Creed going to lead the field to the green. And we are racing at Homestead, 30 to go. Pretty fast into the restart zone that time. Keeps a lot of people from getting stacked up behind Sheldon Creed. It still ended up happening. It was inevitable as Herbst and Jr. are going to lose a couple of positions into turn 1. Top 3 cars on the bottom lane were able to move themselves clear. 4 wide, middle of the corner. And trouble off of turn 2 as Dale Jr. gets together with, I can't tell who that was who's outside, his teammate, Josh Berry. So Berry and Earnhardt get together off turn 2. Berry's in the wall. He's got a flat tire. And this is going to bring out a caution, which is not quite what Sheldon Creed needed as we only got a lap in. Barry sailed it off into turn 3. The right front tire was already flat after contact with Earnhardt off of turn 2. And we are under another quick caution with 29 laps to go at Homestead. Austin Hill was able to get to the lead, I believe, on Sam Mayer when that caution came out. They were side by side for the lead at the line. They'll have to go to the last timing and scoring loop as of the caution flag and when it waved to dictate exactly who was out in front there. Pretty heavy damage on the right side of Barry's race car. The right front's just pancaked into the tire. They were 3 and actually 4 wide, really, in the middle of the corner. But that was behind where Dale Jr. and Josh Berry made contact. There was a piece of debris up there, but I think that was after Berry had made contact with the wall. Berry kept it off the wall. I think Earnhardt just pushed a little wide, got into Berry, and then Berry hit the wall. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I think Dale lost the front of his car. It appeared there. Either that or he didn't know he was up there. I would imagine he knew he was up there, considering they were pretty even nose to nose. And Jeb Burton, who was on the bottom lane, which caused it to go 3 wide, he gave the 2 cars to his outside a lot of room. So the fault of that was definitely on Earnhardt on that one. And you know there was no intent there, considering it was his own car that he ended up putting in the wall on the outside, so you hate to see that happen, but it's kind of wrong place at the wrong time. Showing the in-car cam, we'll see if he fights the wheel quite a bit off turn 2. Yep, that definitely was the case. So you can see he definitely got tight, and then he overcorrected the race car into Barry. It was too late of an overcorrection. If nobody was to his outside, he would have had it saved, but because there was a car to his outside, obviously he had made contact. There wasn't any room to have that kind of a mistake on the handling side of things. So Josh Berry up against the wall here late. We're under another caution with 27 laps to go now under yellow.
Sounds like maybe a little confusion with the spotter or radio communication. Thinks he has a flat, so we'll just have to see if he has to pit. Asking for Jeb to come look at it. Now, no, the rear. I want you to look at the right rear, he says.
Oh, man, that sucks. When I felt like I was here, that he was in the middle. I didn't know anybody was to the outside.
We're going to be able to hear this story tomorrow.
Well, so what he's saying is he heard 8 middle, which it was 8 outside your middle. So Dale Jr. was the middle. He didn't have someone to his left putting him top 3 wide. This is just part of, we talk a lot about driver, crew chief communication, driver spotter communication. I mean, there's a lot going on this restart. It's just chaos everywhere.
And only the second time he's been behind the wheel this year. So, yeah, there's not that continuity of the communication that we always hear.
All right, so here you go. You have the 88 in that orange car, right? So he is going to go 3 wide top around the 2. And then right here, the 8 gets to the outside of him, 4 wide there, now 3 wide. Now it's 8, 3 wide, your middle. He probably thinks 8 is maybe to his left rear. Looked like he got loose, but maybe he was just moving up thinking he had to lead the game in the middle lane. But either way, contact with the 8 put Josh Berry in the wall.
And the damage to the right side of the 88. Big donut there.
I'm not going to talk to him on the radio, Rick. I'm going to let him go ahead.
This would be a good time not to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to let him finish this one out. We'll just talk to him tomorrow in person.
But don't be looking over here at me like
I was going to do it. I know you were going to talk to him on the radio. I mean, if anybody could get away with it.
Yeah, these restarts are just so hard anyway. And when you're not in the car all the time, getting that communication right.
So let's go down to Kim. And the radio of the 2, I'm sure, is very interesting after this caution.
Well, yeah, it's actually been kind of quiet. While they do have an extra set of tires and we're looking for a late race caution, this was not the late race caution they were looking for because it came a little bit too early. So they are going to stay out while pit road is open and hope for a second later caution to take that last set of fresh Goodyear tires. Right now, I know Sheldon is behind the 8 ball with the old tires he has, so they just told him, hold your line as best as you can. We know what you're working with out there.
So, Kim, we're going to focus on the 2 of Sheldon Creed on this most recent restart. Again, he started up front because he didn't come to pit road. Everybody around him has fresh tires.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing he can do. Just hold his line. He's in the middle. The 10 gets right to his bumper, and I don't know if he didn't know or just didn't think he'd get to the outside, but this could have been really bad for the 2.
Yeah, you need a caution. You just don't want to be hit. But there's just nothing you can do. I mean, he did the right thing there of getting right there. And, these other drivers should have been notified of what was going on with that. So that, and again, it's hard. You got cars going everywhere there. But, he's just needing to ride is all that he was needing to do.
So now what does the 2 need? 25 to go. It's as he's losing laps, it's making this Hail Mary a little bit harder. But to be honest, tires fall off so much. I mean, a green-white checker, he could about still win the race. Like, if they run 20 hard laps on these tires, and the caution comes out, there's only 14 cars leading laps. So he'll line up at the front 7 rows with brand-new tires. Maybe not a green-white checker, but 3 or 4 laps is probably all he would need.
Just remember, this car does not fire off good on new tires against others with new tires. So, he's got that, but he's still going to be way faster.
Marty, what about Cole Custer?
Yeah, sitting in 17th, still a lap down, and he wanted a points update from Jonathan Tony.
Worst case scenario is the 1-car win. Where does that put us right now? Well, right now, the way it runs, no matter what happens, the 1-car win, we're going to immediately be up to 1 point out of 4th. So right now, the way the points are, the 1-car is 3rd in points, and he's leading the race.
So, Steve, look at the left-hand side of your screen going to the last race in the round of 8 at Martinsville next weekend. If it finishes like this, boy, that would be a heck of a battle. You look, Austin Hill +6, Allgaier, Cole Custer, they would be 1 point on the right side of the cut line, and Custer 1 point on the wrong side of the cut line. And all 3 of these drivers a few weeks ago, everyone had them in their championship 4. That would be a whale of a battle next week.
Oh, it'd be a heavyweight battle, but I think we're going to get that for the last 25 laps of this race, because I'm not sure if the 1 is the guaranteed winner by any means, right? We had Hill and Nemechek behind him. We have Creed out there kind of working on a little bit of a looking ladder. Look, he's still ladderling the ball, waiting for the yellow to come out, trying to make a run at it. I don't hate the 2's position. I know this is crazy, and it's going to take something, but look, I mean, the final green flag run at this racetrack was 5 laps or less in each of the last 4 races here. So this isn't a crazy idea to think that we could have a late yellow.
The other thing we have to remember is every position on the track is a point. So even though Cole Custer, we show him as 1 point down below the cut line, he's running against a bunch of other cars that are a lap down. So he could gain potentially 2 spots, which would put him above that cut line. He could also, positions gained.
He could also lose 10 correct spots to all the guys as well, Rick. To your point, this could definitely move.
Let's listen into the 7 radio of Justin Allgaier.
We're just going to tell you the frustration level is pegged like 400 out of 10. I'm sorry. I don't mean anything that I'm saying to you. I got to figure out a way to outlet it because if I know what I'm going to implode in here. So I'm just telling you right now.
So we haven't played the 7 radio prior, but I'm guessing it's been pretty colorful from Allgaier because he had the loose wheel. They've had an issue. He got trapped a lap down. He wasn't able to get the free pass. He's stuck now in the 15th position. He is the first car lap down if another caution does come out.
23 laps to go. Another restart ensuing as Sam Mayer elects the inside lane. He'll be the control car. Austin Hill to the outside of the front row. Green flag back in the air. Riley Herbst giving a push to the back of the 1 car as the 20 pushes the 21 into the first turn. Dale Jr. surprisingly staying out on the racetrack despite potentially having a flat right rear tire. But as of right now, still going to continue to go as he remains in the top 10. His own car, though, Sam Mayer out in front of the field off turn 2. 4 wide right now, just outside the top 10, splitting around the slow car of Sheldon Creed to the outside. 31 of Parker Retzlaff nearly getting into the 91 car middle of the corner there. Still 4 wide at the back of the pack as they funnel off turn 4. Austin Hill within 2 car lengths of Sam Mayer at the front of the field. John Hunter Nemechek looking to the outside lane, or at least the outside of the 21. Not all the way up near the wall. Mayer the widest of which through turns 1 and 2 out of everybody in that top 6 or 7 that last time by. Battle for second continues on between Austin Hill and John Hunter Nemechek. Hill slides up in that middle groove just a little bit. Nemechek powers the throttle down a little bit sooner than Hill. Has a run on him off of turn 4. But not enough of a run to try to make a move going into turns 1 and 2. I'm sure he's going to stay back to the outside again. He does. Hill cuts to the bottom. Nemechek going to look for another run off the exit of the corner. If he wants any sort of a chance at Sam Mayer for the win, he needs to get by Austin Hill quickly. Major run incoming on the back straightaway for Nemechek again. This time, he cuts to the inside of the racetrack, but he doesn't cut all the way down to the white line. Hill runs the top. Nemechek more towards the middle. He'll get underneath Austin Hill. Off turn 4, he'll side draft him at about the start-finish line, looking to pull past him. Hill goes down to side draft the 20. The 98 has a run on both cars. He'll go to the outside through turns 1 and 2. Nemechek slides clear for second on Austin Hill. Big moment there for Austin Hill in the center of 1 and 2 as his car slips out from underneath him. Almost goes around. Had to lift quite a bit, and Herbst is there now battling for third. Brandon Jones into the top 5 for the first time today in the number 9 car as he is about at 1.9 seconds off the lead. Dale Jr. still holding on to 6th place on this most recent restart. And now Herbst to the inside of Austin Hill for third at the start-finish line. 18 laps to go. Herbst to the inside, clear. Center of the corner, slides up on the 21. Can Riley Herbst get 2 wins in a row? Hill's going to try to undercut him off turn 2. And Austin Hill's going to try a slide job of his own in 3 and 4 to get the spot back. Here's Josh Berry following his trip to the infield care center.
I have no idea what happened. I haven't seen it. Just got squeezed in the wall there and had something broken, tire down, something to 3. Just a long day. But we had some really good restarts. Now it looked like it was going to work in our favor again, and just unfortunately didn't make it. So just a tough day. Just want to thank everybody at Junior Motorsports. I want to thank Tire Pros for being a big supporter of mine the last few years. Just gotta keep plugging away and try to make something out of these last 2 weeks.
2 weeks to go.
Cole Custer and Justin Allgaier battling for the free pass position on the racetrack. Actually, neither one of them in that free pass position. They are battling for 16th, but Ryan Segan, 15th place, would actually get the free pass right now if the caution were to come out somewhat soon. Don't forget that Sheldon Creed is still on the lead lap, also hoping for a caution in 13th place. Is 12.3 seconds off the lead right now, but has a set of tires at the ready if they get another caution flag. For right now, though, we stay green. John Hunter Nemechek, by the way, 1.3 seconds off the lead from Sam Mayer. Mayer was 0.3 quicker than Nemechek the last lap, so he continues to slowly pull away. 16 laps to go at the line this time by for the one of Mayer. Mayer has all 3 of his wins this season in the Xfinity Series as his first career wins in this series, his second full-time season, though none of which have come on ovals, all on road courses. Most recent win was just 2 weeks ago at the Charlotte Roval, and now trying to get a win to get him into the Championship 4, get the confidence up to win on an actual oval, and to make it to the Championship 4, that'd be huge for this driver. He was the only one of 4 junior motorsport drivers who ran full-time last year who didn't make it to the Championship 4. Granted, it was his rookie season, but big improvement for Sam Mayer this year. The improvement that we, I think as fans, wanted to see out of him. We saw the talent he had in the Truck Series on a part-time basis, getting the full-time ride here in the Xfinity Series, and he's definitely making the most of it this season. And hopefully he can continue to improve his racecraft as his racing career continues in the sport of NASCAR. Nemechek quicker this lap. Running the high side. Riley Herbst, though, right behind him, has reeled him in. I almost think Riley Herbst might be the fastest car on the racetrack. That last lap, he was the quickest. So Riley Herbst fastest on the racetrack that last time by. The problem is he still has to get by the 20 before he can have a shot to get to the 1. The more he battles the 20 of Nemechek, the more both of those 2 cars are going to start to fall back a little bit. Dale Jr., meanwhile, up to 5th place, as both him and Daniel Hemrick have made their way past Brandon Jones. Earnhardt looking to capitalize on a top 5. Roles kind of reversed from where he was at Bristol. Bristol, he's out at the front of the field, leading laps, was in the top 3 pretty much most of that race. Caught on fire in the late going, didn't get the finish he deserved. This one been running outside the top 10 for most of the race and has a surge of speed during that first long green flag run of stage 3, gets into the top 10 and now up into the top 5, even with a little bit of damage to the right side of his race car. Nearly had the caution Sheldon Creed was looking for there while I was talking about Dale Jr.'s day. Jeb Burton in the 27 got up against the wall in turns 1 and 2. His right front tire went flat. He slid in the middle of 3 and 4 trying to get his car to the bottom of the track. Was able to get it there. Luckily unscathed. No debris on the racetrack. We continue to stay green. The battle for second place continues on as well between Nemechek and Herbst. 1.4 seconds behind Mayer. Nemechek might be holding Riley Herbst up. A few laps in a row now. Herbst has been the fastest on the racetrack. He just can't get by the 20. Anytime he tries to pull to the bottom, he just can't slide clear. Needs to make that pass soon before it's too late to catch the 1. Half a lane lower than the 20 through turns 1 and 2. Riley Herbst getting a really good cut in the center of the corner, but you can see his rear tire slide a lot off turn 2, and he just can't get the cut to stay underneath of him. Probably the reason why he's not running all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. His car's probably not capable of being able to do that this deep into the run. Sam Mayer 1.3 seconds ahead at the line. Both Nemechek and Herbst were faster than him that last lap, but not by a lot. 10 to go. If Sam Mayer wins this race, it would put Justin Allgaier, his teammate, below the cutoff line as of where Allgaier and Custer both run right now, which is 15th and 16th in the running order. It'd be wild. At Martinsville next week. Two of the better contenders for that championship throughout the course of the year. Having to fight for a championship 4 spot with somebody that was on the outside for most of the season, all of a sudden locked in on the inside. Once again, nobody came locked into this race, into the championship 4 through the first race of the round, with Herbst being a non-playoff driver winning at Vegas last weekend. We are down to just 9 laps to go. Sam Mayer continues on, a 1.2 second lead. Riley Herbst again looking to the inside of John Hunter Nemechek. Nemechek slides the rear tires a ton that time. That's the mistake Riley Herbst needed. But Herbst had to lift to keep it off the 20, and he couldn't make the pass. Both cars get held up. And Mayer going to start to step away from these two even more now. 8 laps to go. They're getting smaller out of the rearview mirror as that battle continues. That was a mistake that Herbst needed out of John Hunter Nemechek, and he just couldn't capitalize off of it. Herbst driving it off way deeper on corner entry than the 20 car this time through 3 and 4. Showing a replay of that loose moment there from Nemechek. Did a great job keeping it off the wall. I don't think he touched it despite the right rear of the race car going way out. Difference between P1 and P2 is now 1.4 seconds on the track. 13 cars on the lead lap now. Somebody who was on the lead lap originally has now gone a lap down during this green flag run to the checker. Be sure to hit that like button on the stream if you guys have not done so yet. Again, our goal was 100 likes on the stream, and we are currently sitting at 82. So hit that like button. We've got over 160 concurrent viewers watching right now, and only half that in the likes department. So definitely hit the like button so we can get to 100 likes here before the end of the stream. Riley Herbst has finally made the pass for second place on John Hunter Nemechek. He's 1.6 seconds off of the race lead. Does he have anything for Sam Mayer, or did he just take too long to pass the 20? Showing the battle for the free pass position on screen between Ryan Sieg and Cole Custer. Custer slowly pulling away from Allgaier now. Finally starting to reel in the 39. Herbst is putting a little bit of a gap over Nemechek. That last lap, Riley Herbst was 0.2 of a second quicker than Sam Mayer. But there's only 5 laps to go. He's going to have to be 2 to 3 tenths, probably closer to 3 tenths quicker lap to be able to have a chance to catch Mayer on the final lap. It's a good pace, but it might not be good enough this late. Sheldon Creed was hoping for a caution. He's in 12th place, 21 seconds off the lead. He should still finish on the lead lap, which I didn't really think was going to even be possible, but Unfortunately, he is not going to be in contention for the win without a caution, which we already kind of assumed that was the case going into the last 2 restarts now with that caution they did get, but it was on the first lap following the restart, so obviously didn't pan out for him from a strategy standpoint. Riley Herbst, even quicker, 0.3 quicker than Sam Mayer that last lap. I just mentioned he had to be 0.3 quicker lap to catch Mayer. He might be fast enough if he can run that kind of a pace. 24 car, very slow on the racetrack, but he is off the pace and he is down on the apron. Headed to pit road. We stay green, 3 to go. Riley Herbst quicker than Mayer again that last lap, but it wasn't by 0.3 that time. Looked like it was only by maybe 1/10. We'll see. Herbst moving off the wall now that he feels he may be a little bit closer to Mayer. Ran more of the middle line through 1 and 2, trying to keep out of the dirty air. Now he's going to run a full lane off the wall. Not quite all the way in the center like he was through 1 and 2, but Herbst is closing. His car handles so much better through the center of the corner than Mayer. You can really see the rear of Mayer's car moving out from underneath him quite a bit there. 2 to go. Can he hang on? Riley Herbst trying to go for 2 weeks in a row. What a run for the non-playoff driver. Getting his first career win in dominating fashion. He has not led all day today. He's been quick. Other problems for drivers ahead of him in the running order, including his teammate who had dominated the day up to this point. Big corner entry gain that time. Sheldon Creed's blowing up on the pit road. Tough break for him. Will stay green. Mayer slides almost up against the wall. Herbst is within 2 car lengths at the line. White flag, 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Riley Herbst has cut down the deficit from 1.5 seconds to nearly the back bumper of Sam Mayer as they work their way through 1 and 2 on the final lap of the race. Mayer a little more steady through the center of the corner. Rear of the car moving out from underneath him. Herbst didn't have too big of a run on him, though, down the backstretch. He's going to have one more shot through 3 and 4. Is he going to send it? He is going to send it to the middle. Sam Mayer up on the outside. Mayer so close to the wall. If he touches it, it's over. He touches it off of turn 4. Here comes Herbst to the line, looking low, but he's not going to get there. And Sam Mayer is going to win his first career race on an oval in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Driving the wheels off of it late to hold off a hard-charging Riley Herbst, and Sam Mayer is going to get the win, his 4th of the season, just as we saw from Carson Hocevar in the Truck Series earlier today. A win will propel him to the championship 4. Great run there late by both Herbst and Mayer. A clean finish nonetheless, and despite getting into the wall off turn 4, Herbst ran out of straightaway to catch Mayer to the line. Herbst close enough to put that pressure on Mayer. Mayer bent but did not break. And Sam Mayer holds on to win a thrilling finish here at Homestead. Second race Dale Jr. has ran in the Xfinity Series this season. In both races he ran in, one of his cars won. Allgaier at Allgaier at Bristol. And now Sam Mayer today at Homestead. Margin of victory, 0.2 seconds for Sam Mayer over Riley Herbst. Total race time, 2 hours, 34 minutes, 28 seconds. Average race speed of 117.16 miles per hour. We'll go through the full field finishing order once we get the post-race interview from your race winner, Sam Mayer, maybe a couple others. We'll wait to go through the full field finishing order until NBC goes to their next commercial break. Mayer led 46 laps in today's race en route to his victory. Most laps led, again, was Cole Custer with 115 laps led in the race. He won Stage 1. Derek Kraus on pit strategy actually won Stage 2 with 21 laps led. Allgaier led 8 laps earlier today. The 2 car of Sheldon Creed led 4 laps. Jonathan Nemechek led 7. We had 6 different drivers lead at least 1 lap in the race today. Amongst those 6 drivers, we had 14 lead changes. 6 cautions total in the race today, ending this last green flag run of 23 laps. Here's your race winner, Sam Mayer, on the front stretch at Homestead, ready to celebrate his win here today.
But the first win Riley, you're running for a championship. What does this mean?
That's unreal. We won an oval! Woo! I can't believe it. Like, these guys, the accelerated Club's Camaro today was just so good. Like, obviously the double zero, it was as fast as Xfinity to 10G, but so are we. So it's all about putting a full race together, and I'm so proud of these guys. They kicked tail on pit road, and we made it happen with these HMS engines.
We saw Riley Herbst give you a run for your money at the end. What was going through your mind as you saw him in your mirror?
Stuart Haas had it today, that's for sure. It's just really cool to be able to beat an amazing organization like that. So Riley's definitely turned it on, and we got to turn it on a little harder going in Phoenix.
You're winning an oval. Sam Mayer locks himself into the championship for at Phoenix as his crew comes in for a celebration.
Crew telling them how proud they are of what Sam Mayer was able to do.
Still waiting to go through the full field finishing order here for you guys, just in case we get an interview from anybody else in the meantime. 12 cars finished on the lead lap in this race today. That was it. Moving the stage to the front stretch. The Homestead-Miami Speedway, they are cutting a break right now, so we will go through the full field finishing order again. 0.2 of a second margin of victory for Sam Mayer. Seemed a lot closer than that coming to the line, though, as Riley Herbst is right on his tail, finishing in second. John Hunter Nemechek ends up with a third-place finish today. Austin Hill fourth, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a top 5 finishing in fifth. Daniel Hemrick in sixth, Parker Kligerman seventh, Brandon Jones eighth, Sammy Smith ninth, and Joe Graff Jr. going to round out the top 10. Derek Kraus in 11th place, solid run for him today. Parker Retzlaff finishes in 12th. Cole Custer, first car, one lap down in 13th. Ryan Sieg with a 14th place finish. Justin Allgaier in 15th. Kyle Weatherman 16th. Josh Williams 17th. Jeffrey Earnhardt 18th. Brendan Poole 19th. Jeff Burton ended up 20th. Jeremy Clements in 21st. Kyle Sieg 22nd. Leland Honeyman 23rd. Ryan Ellis 24th. Patrick Emerly with a 25th place run. Sheldon Creed, who would have had about a 12th place finish there late. Car was smoking. I believe he might have blown a tire there coming to the finish. He ends up 26th. Was already in a must-win situation, that only further solidified going into Martinsville next week. Mason Massey with a 27th place run, Anthony Alfredo 28th, Blaine Perkins 29th, and Kaz Gralla ends up in 30th. 31st place finish for Connor Mosack, and then 32nd on back in today's race DNF. So Josh Berry finishes in 32nd, Mason Maggio 33rd, Chandler Smith 34th, Brett Moffitt 35th, Dawson Cramp 36th, 37th for CJ McLaughlin, Ryan Newman, mechanical issues early, will finish last in 38th. So in total, we had 7 drivers that DNF'd in today's race. Once again, the average race speed was 117.16 miles per hour. We finished under the scheduled distance, 200 laps, 300 miles for today's race. Here is Marty Snyder standing in with second place finisher Riley Herbst.
That's a lot of hypothetical. I felt like we had a really fast Monster Energy car for sure. It wasn't that great yesterday in practice. It wasn't that great in stage 1 and 2, but Davin and the boys kept wrenching on it and told me to keep my head in it. He definitely was a class of the field like we were last week. So hopefully we can continue this SHR dominance and head on to Martinsville and Phoenix for a couple more checkered flags.
Yeah, Dave, since he re-signed for next year, a win and a second place here at Homestead-Miami. The 98 team has put people on notice in the Xfinity Series garage.
Championship contender John Hunter Nemechek is now plus 44 to the cut line. Not locked in yet as you go to Martinsville. What kind of challenges did you overcome today to get third?
A lot. I feel like we had a really fast Toyota GR Supra with 5 Barker colors on there today. Thanks to Toyota TRD, all of our great partners. This thing was almost as fast as Xfinity 10G, but overall, solid day for us. We had a solid points day. With the one winning, it kind of took away our chance to lock in on points. So still a solid cushion behind us. Looking forward to going to Martinsville. We won there earlier this year, so hopefully we can go there and just have a solid day. It doesn't matter if we win, as long as we lock into Phoenix, that's all that matters.
And you can hear it in his voice. Didn't feel 100% today, but man, what a good run for John Hunter Nemechek, Kim.
Well, Dave Earnhardt Jr. comes home in the 5th position at Title 5 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Is this a successful day for you?
Heck yeah, I was on the top 10. The car was not doing what I wanted it to do, but we worked on it, and I sent us the wrong way the first stage at the first break, and so we never, once we got that going and the guys figured out what we needed to do, the car got better, and we ran good enough to run 5th. The Josh Berry deal, man. I didn't know he was out there. My spotter was saying all the right things, but what I was hearing was something different. So I'll put that on me. I got a little loose, but I corrected it up the track like there was nobody there. Like I didn't know. I thought the 8 was coming through the middle. And so when I got loose, I was like just giving myself, had a lot of room to chase in the fence. The car out there, and I hit that 8. So sorry about that, but not the way I want to send Josh off, right? I want to send him off with a win. But luckily it didn't hurt our car, and we were able to finish really good. So I'm happy about it.
Happy is the word for Dale Earnhardt Jr. down here.
Very unfortunate for Sheldon Creed. He was actually caught up in the middle of that earlier, that bouncing back and forth. But then this is the last lap. Sheldon Creed gets into the wall pretty hard here.
Oh, yeah, comes up the racetrack. I can't tell who that is, and gets a right rear quarter panel and heavy damage.
It's judged there. We'll
take a look at the points after this race here at Homestead-Miami.
All right, we'll pause it real quick, and I'll read that off for you guys. Obviously, Sam Mayer locked into the Championship 4 with a win. He is the only driver locked in to the Championship 4 as of right now. John Hunter Nemechek plus 44 points, so can very much do so through just the first couple stages at Martinsville in a couple weeks. Plus 3 points for both Cole Custer and Austin Hill. Tough finish for Custer. He could have had the win today and locked himself in, and Mayer will be right there on the cut line. Instead, it is Custer on the cut line, and Mayer is in. So Custer going to have to get the job done next weekend. Austin Hill, again, plus 3 points along with Cole Custer. First driver below the cutoff line at minus 3 points is Justin Allgaier. So those 3 drivers, only 2 of them are going to get in next week. 1 of them will not. And that's going to be a fun, tight points battle with 3 cars that have been very fast all season long. Honestly, all 3 of them deserve a shot in the Championship 4, to be completely honest, and only 2 of them are going to get it. So it's going to be a heartbreaking loss for one of those teams throughout the course of the season. To have it come to an end like that, and it's going to be a thrilling way to get there, but a stressful way to get there for the other 2. The other 3 drivers still in contention for the championship in the round of 8 in the playoffs, 6th through 8th in the standings coming into next week's race at Martinsville are all pretty much in must-win situations. 49 points below the cutoff line for Sammy Smith. Chandler Smith minus 54 points, and Sheldon Creed is automatically in a must-win situation after his failure to capitalize on the pit strategy late, and of course getting into the wall late as well. He's minus 65 points, so he mathematically is in a must-win situation, and pretty much I'd say the same for Sammy Smith and Chandler Smith as well, being as far back on points going into Martinsville. So if we do get a new winner below the cutoff line, then that means only one of the 3 drivers of Custer, Hill, or Allgaier will make it in. But if Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, or Sheldon Creed don't win at Martinsville, then 2 of the 3 drivers between Allgaier, Hill, and Custer will get in. That is going to wrap up today's Contender Boats 300 at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Our live commentary coverage of tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series race at Homestead will begin at 2:30 Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys for that one. We'll have full flag-to-flag coverage for you as we did for today's NASCAR Truck and Xfinity Series races. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't yet. We're actually going to stay live on the channel right now. Just for shut up, Rick Allen. No, anyway, here's Cole Custer. We got another interview to wrap up here, but also I'll rewind it so you guys can get the full interview in. So Cole Custer will be standing with Marty Snyder. You'll get to listen into that. Also hit that like button here. We're only 2 likes away from 100 on the stream. Here's Custer.
Cole Custer is the dominant car here at Homestead-Miami, but a right front went down, Cole. And after all the patience you showed today, how frustrating is this one to take?
Yeah, it's hard to swallow. I mean, we had such a fast car, and our guys did such a great job. They deserved the win today. I got in too deep, I didn't feel like I was pushing it, and I think I just passed a lapper, and I just got out of my rhythm, and I just got in a little too deep and hit the fence. So it just sucks. This car was so fast. I just need to learn how to back it down when we're only at that big of a lead. But, I can't thank everybody at Awesome Nation, Stuart Haas Racing. We're bringing absolute rocket ships to the track right now. And I know we will at Martinsville, too. So, to have all that happen today and still be good on the cut line, I'm really, really proud of. But, really, for Skate's just not getting the win today.
When you and I talked before, you thought this was your shot for the championship but +3 going to Martinsville. How do you feel about that? And how do you put this one behind you?
I feel good about it. I mean, we ran good at Martinsville in the spring, and I think we can go out there and have a really good day. So I'm not scared to be +3. I mean, honestly, I'm happy with that. But it just sucks that you had a dominant car today.
So Cole Custer, he's still above the cut line. There's more.
Sounds like the USA Network is going to be ending their NASCAR coverage, as will we here, as we just hit 100 likes on the stream. I appreciate that, everybody, getting to our goal once again, as we tend to do more often than not with these live commentary streams. Cup Series, though, 150 is the goal per usual in there, so definitely want to tune in, not miss the start of that stream tomorrow. Quick shout-outs to some of the other newcomers I saw in the chat there over the late going that were I did not get the shout out because of obviously the intense battle there down the stretch of this race between Riley Herbst and your race winner, Sam Mayer. Mary Grubbs, thanks for tuning in. Brandon Gabriel, Philadelphia Phillies fan 166. He's probably enjoying the playoffs right now. Billy Kramer, welcome into the stream as well. I think he might have been in there for a while. Obviously, usual channel watcher. Brittany McNeil, thanks for tuning in. Major Kenneth Withrow, also welcome to the stream. Dwayne Easley, he was pulling for Dale Jr. all the way. Got to be happy with the top 5, I'm sure. And it looks like that might have been it for anybody who I may not have shouted out earlier in the stream. I appreciate you guys tuning in once again. Once again, tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern Time for tomorrow's NASCAR live commentary coverage of the Cup Series race. 3 more NASCAR Cup races left, 2 for the Xfinity, 1 for the trucks. Let's get to 5,000 subs here before the end of the season. I think we could do it. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good rest of your Saturday nights. And I'll see you tomorrow. Go Blue. Beat MSU.